Welcome to Adventures Till the Curtain Calls, where we bring you a Dungeons and Dragons podcast for your entertainment. 6 individuals find themselves swept into the world of Asera, a world filled with magic, wonder, and peril. Starring Andrew Wilmore, Will Acton, Anthony Anderson, Jack Reuther, Nathan Dennison, David Nika, and the Dungeon Master Wes Bridges. It's time to dim the lights, raise the curtain, and let the show begin.
Each of you start the day as any other. You wake up in your own beds, in Tony's bed, in Jack's bed, in David's, Will's, Nathan's, and Andy's. You wake up in your own bed, get dressed, take care of the kids, the pets, get ready for work or something. You go about your day, whatever that is, your regular job. The only catch is you have to stop by the Hoagland Center of the Arts at the end. Will and Andy, you guys have been requested to come in and audition for a role. Nathan, Tony, Jack, there's some tickets you're needing to pick up. There's a show that you're wanting to see, whatever that may be. It's an upcoming show. Something Rotten is in August. Maybe it's that. You never know. But David, Danny has a flat tire. And yeah, you got to go pick him up. And unfortunately, you're available, so you're being nice, and so you're going to help him out. Andy and Will, you guys arrive separately. You follow the sign on the kiosk that simply states auditions, which guides you up to the club room on the 3rd floor. David, you get a text. Same thing from Danny. It's going to be a moment, though. Do you mind just coming in and hanging out? He leads you to the 3rd floor in the club room. Nathan, Tony, and Jack, you can probably see where this is going. Each of you arrive. The box office says their system is down. Whatever reason. You have to go up to the 3rd floor, club room. There's someone there that's going to be able to help you out. Will, you arrive first, then Nathan, Tony, David, Andy, and finally Jack. As you each reach the room, it's extremely dimly lit. First, you guys think you're at the wrong place before this very fair blonde woman welcomes you. She's kind of taller, actually, honestly, about your height, Will. And I'm just going based off of the height I know for a fact. I know you currently are the tallest. You don't recognize her, but there's some things that seem familiar. And you are each kind of encountering this when you see her. There's something familiar about her, but you just can't kind of put your finger on it. Her accent is also very strange, too. It's not a Midwest English. It's not even a proper English. It's more... If you can kind of combine the elegance of French with the listing of words between Finnish, that's kind of the tone that you're getting. If I could make that happen, I would do that. But in my mind, it's way better sounding than what I've tried to produce over 20 minutes of attempting.
Super exotic. I like it.
But yeah, as the words flow, they almost like flow seamlessly into your ears. She brings you into the room, hooking your arm in, not like being weird or anything, but definitely for those that aren't necessarily accustomed to theater, who are used to being touched by people all the time, kind of. This is weird. This is a strange woman, and you each have your own reaction, but it doesn't seem to set off any sort of alarm in you. It doesn't seem to concern you. It almost feels familial. Not familiar, familial, like being greeted by a family member you haven't seen in a very long time. She leads you deeper into the room, and in the center of this room, I don't know if you have ever been to the club room at the Hoagland Center of the Arts, but there is like this wooden staging area for when they do stuff in the round. And there is 6 chairs. And they're all evenly spaced, all facing towards the center. Nothing crazy about them. There's no like wardings or anything like that. Just literally 6 chairs sitting towards the middle. And stapled to the back of each chair are papers with your name on them. You sit in the chair specific that she has led you to and asks you all not to look at the papers yet. I'm not attempting the accent, but she says, "Welcome, everyone. It is so wonderful to see you all here. I am a director for a show that will be coming up very soon, and I'm needing the 6 of you to read some parts for me. Please take a look at the scripts in your seats." And at this moment, you guys can flip over the scripts, and you see this in a very beautiful font. Of spells and swords, or spells and steel. And what kind of throws you off, though, you're kind of looking over it, but at the bottom of that cover page, the cover page is the front, but you see some weird information. It's maybe she is Finnish, you don't know, and that's how they do things. Truly weird looking. But she seems so very kind, but there's something now that feels very foreign to you that don't do theater, but you almost feel like you have to do what she's asking you to do at this point now. And let's see here, I want to make sure. At this point, she asks you all, we're just gonna start reading from this. I just want to see how it feels, how it gels from each of you. There's nothing wrong with what you're saying or speaking. We're trying something new and different. And as she says this, the dimly lit room becomes even more dim. It becomes more of an intimate space, almost like, if I had to equate it, more like you're waiting to get your fortune read by a psychic. That kind of dim now at this point. And there, you can hear the of now fog from a fog machine just rolling in. So whatever mystifying area was about this was ruined by the.
I was out, now I'm back in. Yes. Yes.
You're like, okay, I'm opposed to this, but okay,
Yeah.
this is all theatrical.
Clearly, yeah, no,
whatever.
good. Checks out.
So each of you, you have your scripts with your number on it, and that is the line that you are going to be reading. I actually highlighted them for you because I felt it was going to be easier.
best.
Yep, sorry. As you each look, every line in the script is attributed to a number 1 through 6, or your name in parentheses, because I'm nice like that. Jack, being the last to arrive, would you like to begin as you are number 1? The script looks foreign as well, but you attempt to read it the best that you can. And now I'd like to go through that. Keep note at the bottom of the page what that says.
Yeah.
So, begin, attempt as best you could.
Léger Lord breaths, rapt spirits, hebt fly.
Air a Corvin separating sa space ion hatch.
De her Jejo G breast ein de her linen Jejo.
Bot uge ven osh bretithi elin ervik.
Kindred spirits, Rust, sisters, Aline, Bazirs.
Yours didn't translate very well. In my made-up language. As you begin, you feel this very vibrant energy kind of swung around you, flowing through you. You feel energized. There's something nice about this. Kind of like you took like a 5-hour energy without the drawbacks of your heart exploding. The lines begin to connect, or there's lines that actually start to light up underneath each of you, and they start connecting around each of the chairs in beautiful blues, violets, pinks, emanating from like little almost geysers of lights, if you want to call them. So like between every chair there's a little geyser, the line keeps going, geyser between each of the chairs. Call it intrigue, commitment to the read, or outright fear. You each continue to read. Now turn the page and continue, please.
Rendri non brave, ro cursed sa vorth.
Beckine Haven Road Raven Unknown John.
Fordarin a Dresden. Stolman de Hent a Array Nick.
Felix a creature obsessed even hatch.
Bandra, Didri, Arslon, Gredborn, Honra.
Eldan Met, Sadir Arsh Gold, Sadiz Arsh Revenge.
And all of you together. We're summoning real demons. No, I'm kidding. So
Christmas lights better be banging.
you don't need those now. You can set them wherever you want. Those are yours to keep if you so wish. If not, I will gladly take them
They
back
all
at the end.
ignited in front of us. Oh, whoa.
The sigil beneath you all glows brilliantly, and before, as it was just a circle with the geysers around, you see, like, as you're each speaking, especially at the end, they're weaving in, not even geometrically. It's not a perfect circle, a perfect dodecahedron. There's something off about it, off enough so, like, a person with OCD would want to just bend a line here or twist something there to make it straight. It doesn't seem perfect. It seems off, but the room begins filling with all this light now emanating. You look across to each of your compatriots at the same time, and understandably, looks of fear, confusion are crossing all of your faces. And a ring begins quietly in your ears and almost becomes deafening. It's almost like that ring from an explosion. Or you would definitely, it'd be familiar. You actually almost try to adjust it and it doesn't make sense because no matter what you do, it doesn't fix it. You know you just switched out the batteries. And it becomes almost deafening. You're unsure if you are screaming or if there's another voice screaming in your mind. And just a brilliant flash of light. You awaken in your bed, or shelter that you created for yourself in the town near Eshlin Falls, which is on the bay. You each have been requested to aid the village with an issue with a local beast that's terrorizing them in exchange for payment. I said a D6, not a D20. Okay, Eldon. Due to your time with the Night Thorns in Batia, before leaving, you get connected from time to time with potential jobs or something. You know, make ends meet and everything, but you know that there's some political connections going on with the Night Thorns and everything. You wake up and you've been here about a day or so, kind of getting the lay of the land. You don't like to necessarily jump into a job without knowing all the details, so you've been getting to know the people and see if everything's on the up and up.
Makes sense.
Let's see. Felix and Seven. There is much and very little that can be said about the wilderness. Very few adventurers, merchants, or apothecaries actually delve deep into the wood to get anything of value before either meeting their end or turning back. That being said, there are some herbs that might be of use to you in its thicket. And that's the reason why, after meeting Seven, pick this up and you might come this way. Seven, you also heard that there's rumors of an old city that was once in the wilderness, the Misty Moon Wilderness. But, of course, with the fiends and everything and the other creatures and monsters in there, because this wilderness has been known to house many, doesn't make it the best spelunking area, more or less. But it's also one of the reasons that you came to Egernesia is because of this rich wealth of knowledge, as well as the Everthrone that is there, which, what better place to have knowledge than the place that's been there since, well, the beginning of your current time. Odarin or Odorin? Odarin. None of what I said. Odarin. You've been traveling across the land, and you've heard rumors of places in the wilderness that also have this city, but the people that have dwelt there at one point or another were deep within the arcane arts. A lot of the magic that is used on airships is derivative of this ancient magic. And so you kind of got piqued with that interest, and obviously with your experiences, there's very few things nowadays that can kind of slight you with fear compared to how you had to grow up and what you had to deal with. Well, there's only two options left here at this point. All right. Banner? Banner. Like Bruce Banner. Fair enough. So you, of course, convicted of... convicted by your aspirations.
I was like, whoa!
I was like,
whoa,
wait,
we're going
of your
across the board
aspirations
here.
of station and honor.
Uh-oh.
I wrote it weird. It was a weird sentence structure. Going back, I should have sent this off to proofread or Chat GPT this or something. But you're not one that's likely to turn down a request from a lord or a baird, which is much like a jarl of this town, of this area. And it's how you come to find yourself here. The promise of a new steed actually would greatly help with your travels, seeing that coming over to Igranesia, unfortunately your previous steed, while not the spring chicken that it was, also did not survive the trip, unfortunately.
But he was delicious.
The crew thanked you for the food. But not only to add that, it was going to add to the list of those that either owed you a favor or kind of a reference, so to speak. And then, Henry, you were actually a victim of happenstance in this situation.
Yeah, I'm saying.
There was, this is coming off the heels of a local celebration, and you joined in for the festivities. Fortunately, you drank a lot. You ran up that tab, and it's more or less a situation of, it's a tit for tat thing. We need you to do something because not only did you drink a little bit too much, and it wasn't out of like a malice or anything, you enjoyed in the revelry a bit too much. But they are asking you, instead of trying to come up with gold or anything, to help with this. Now, how you all meet is that through various, whether that's through the barkeep, a local inquisitor, and for you specifically, this little girl that you meet when you come into town. She's so very sweet. She, little blonde curls, green, very vibrant green eyes, not like eerily green, just very green. But she just takes a liking to you from the get-go. She's just very loving and kind, and you know, how do you feel about something like that? This little girl is just kind of coming up. She's just holding your hand and just kind of hugging it and everything. She's just walking with you down the promenade of Falls.
I hold her hand and I walk her along the road.
Okay.
Very sweet.
So, and she's like looking at you and like looking at, it's almost like she's intrinsically trying to say, look here, look at here, look at here, without saying anything. She's not displaying any signs of being mute by any means, but she just doesn't say anything. She does lead you to this board, though, and it's the local town crier board. And sure enough, we'll say that Renfrey, you were already pointed there by the barkeep. You two were kind of told about this when you were passing through. Long story short, you all found your way to this. But you were the first one there, kind of eyeballing it. So that being said, why don't you tell the party what do they see when everyone else, when you walk up?
Well, Banner he stands a little bit over 6 feet. He is fairly slender, but very fit. He's wearing chainmail armor. The colors are red and black. Cloak. He has a sword at his side, a shield strapped to his back, and tucked in behind that shield is a spear. He's got short cropped black hair and a beard, and he is olive-skinned, sort of swarthy. So he's probably near the southern lands, near the ocean, or something like that.
Okay, fantastic. And we'll say that Renfrey, you appear next. What is it what is it that Banner sees as you are coming up upon this board?
Banner sees this slightly shorter girl. She looks Turkish, but there's something else about her. She has these two horns slightly protruding from her forehead. She's wearing this long, tattered vest of dark brown leathers. Some other striking features about her. There's this very height must give it a jaw, but it's kind of nicely fits her squarish face. And the sides of her hair are shaved, but she has small strips of hair on top. So those two ponytails, and loosely sitting above the two pointed purplish horns of her lavender-colored skin are just these loose strands of hair that she just tucks back as she's kind of gritting her teeth as she's recovering from a hangover.
And then Felix and Seven, you two are taking your little jaunt over to the board to take a look. And
Seven's way more noticeable than me, so he's going to
yes. And question: do you make any like external noise? Like, is there a grinding of metal or anything like that?
Getting some hisses or something.
If he's right up next to somebody, you can kind of almost hear sort of the friction of his metal plates kind of sliding
like that.
a bit. That, depending on what surface he's walking, you can hear pretty heavy footsteps.
ASMR, I love it.
And we'll say that that's faintly at first and then growing. And I mean, this is just it's not a paved road or anything. It's kind of muted, but you hear some somewhat heavy footfalls as you turn around and you see, please describe yourself, sir.
So Seven is a almost 7 foot tall, sort of looks kind of like a brass plate of armor, but also something is off. His arms are a little bit longer than what you would expect on a normal human being.
Yeah, man.
He's sort of swinging around a little bit.
I would think almost like a gnoll, right? Because gnolls have a bit longer arms than their.
Yeah, it's good.
He is almost entirely made up of what looks like armor plating. That's in this kind of brassy gold bronze type of color. But if you look in between, you can almost see this sort of like plant type material, sort of not quite wood, but a bit more hard than like vines or something. And his face seemingly can almost adjust within it, and his eyes right now are sort of glowing this off-white, yellowish sort of glow, and he sort of looks around at everybody and is just taking in all the sights and sounds, not really watching where he's going. He just sort of, people are kind of making their way around.
All right, and quickly behind him would be Felix. He is a 3'9", but he will not tell you anything less than 4 feet tall, paddling, with a leather tabby hat and basically like a leather bomber-esque jacket with just straight leather armor. He has a couple metal plates here and there, with a nifty crossbow that he always keeps at the ready that has glowing blue sigils on it. As well as some fancy little gauntlets that also have the same like sky blue light to them. And he just has some nicks and knobs attached to him on certain spots that sometimes look like they're moving and they're glowing. But he's definitely keeping back behind Seven, kind of almost like what do they call it? Like an operator, like kind of guiding him in the right direction, not trying to say exactly. Yeah, exactly. You can tell he's the lead for it. But
and you've definitely, upon your awakening, you are quickly trying to assimilate the cultures and I guess the decorum that you would any other creature. But there's still some things. There's a learning curve to it. You know.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll say that kind of watching all this go down, kind of a little bit kind of shaded. Well, in the shadow of this one building, you see this gentleman leaning against it. What do they see?
They see a man in a cloak, perhaps a child, no, a halfling, leaning against the post with his hood up. Can't see his face too much. You can tell he's got leather armor on, faced by his bracers, you can see. And that's all he's gonna let you see right now.
Ooh, dang. Got some Strider vibes, I like that.
The air of skepticism, seeing all these people around this board that you were told to go to, is definitely there. Like, why are all these people here? But you still nonetheless, that intrigue of knowledge. and growth, not necessarily for power, but, well, just for that accumulation of knowledge and whatever, inner reasoning you may have. You all see what's walking towards the board.
So
Or who?
Baron is a very handsome elf, about 6'1". His skin, he's not a normal elf, very strange. His skin is an orange red, his hair's bright red, and it fades to yellow at the tips. He's wearing a black cloak, and you can see kind of some plain clothes underneath, but you can't tell much. The most interesting feature, though, is the branch that's growing onto the side of his head, and fall leaves that are growing out of it.
So you each arrive here, and Banner, you're actually, we'll say you've taken it down. You're holding it, and it's the only one that's kind of up there. Everything else is kind of fallen by the wayside of this specific issue. I'm not leading you into anything specific. No. But the little girl almost emphasizes it, and she keeps pointing at it, and then she points back towards the road that you came from, because there's only one main drag around the bay that leads into Esha Falls. And she just she smiles warmly at you before she gives you a slight squeeze and then takes off. She just runs down the street around the corner, and you don't see her anymore. But, well, I guess let's RP this greeting. I mean, you're all not just standing there awkwardly, so.
Oh yeah, that's the good one. I don't know if you're gonna take that one, but I think I'll sign it first.
So,
I do need the money to pay off the tab, and I'll be looking to get our tab open. You can
get
all
that?
the other
They
message
wanna get
requests should.
No, you get
need
that,
extra coin, right?
but you're attaching it to
Well, it might be something we
Okay,
want
because I'm
to
not sure because
collaborate
it
on.
enters, as it enters, so you would choose, I think you choose.
Now, is it a group bounty, or
when it enters the battle.
what kind of
As siege enters.
funds are we looking at here?
So you see, I will chime in here. I'm going to give a synopsis of it, but more or less, like along the roads leading to the northeast, away from Esha Falls, into deeper into the Misty Moon Wilderness, where there is a merchant's path, the main drag, more or less. I shouldn't say main drag, main road out. There have been attacks, but the curious thing is that it's not upon any one or two travelers, it's upon merchant or people with goods. The bodies are found strewn about, torn into, ripped apart. Any attempt with what they have to send some sort of search or raiding party either hasn't returned or kind of scared with this. There's talks of a massive beast, but also a screech of some manner. For some people, the screech is all they needed to bug out. But if there's mention of a beast, it's usually the lone survivor or whatnot. There've only been 3 instances of people going out and trying to discover about what's going on. But it does say that payment, not much, but it does say 700 gold at the bottom.
Will that be enough for Renfrey to come up her tab?
Yes, many times.
700 gold? Like, what kind of tab did
No,
you do?
I mean, you're that takes care of like a sixth of it? No.
Man, if you see
Renfrey is hardy, and she has some things that she wants to forget while enjoying the revelry.
I mean, is it D&D if you don't have some sort of trauma? I mean, just saying. But
Normal people don't do this.
It's true adventuring, man. You gotta be a special kind of weird.
But yeah, so 700 gold is the bounty for this creature. Says either proof of the creature's meeting its end, or you're able to, well, yeah, that's really, they need some sort of proof.
Proof of taken care of.
Proof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Banner hands the paper over to
Renfrey.
Renfrey, who I don't know yet, that says, please take a look. My name is Banner.
easier.
Yeah. What's yours?
I just want to make sure
Spell
with
me
mine.
red. If that's alright with you. Oh, yeah.
Tell you what you wish.
She kind of looks over the papers. She kind of sighs and just kind of annoyed. He's asked for like, I guess some assistance with this would probably be wise. Just you and me, right? Nobody else.
Well, me and my mechanical friend here would love to partake. Strength in numbers and whatnot.
And don't forget about me.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Hi. My name is O'Darren. I'm here to help.
That's all I need, yeah.
Sure.
Need that gold too.
Seven looks at the 700 gold thing. He looks at you and he's just like, I don't know if this is good.
Hey, we will take care of that later.
Okay.
That's going to help us get things, so
Okay.
that's what we need.
Okay.
We're in.
There's an extra step now. Okay.
Yeah, there's more. There's always more steps.
You said you were just happy to help. Does that mean you require the gold afterwards? Or?
Just the gratitude of a job well done.
I mean,
It's important to know for my
haggling.
my town.
I mean, the gold will definitely help.
I guess. So I mean, all right. Well, I think we can get this figured out. I mean, you gotta get anything done here, or I mean, we just got here, so.
I think there's plenty of gold for all of us.
It's true. I can't weigh in on this.
We'll talk about economics at another date, but right now we'll get it done first, and then we'll figure out the economy.
Money means nothing to me.
Exactly. That's
And Ruby just kind of like strolls it up and just puts it into a little side pouch that she has in her duster.
Sure. So, a little bit more information on it. So, you know that from the post that it is deeper into the woods. So, from your guys' point of view, we got this massive bay here. You guys are like right here, and the woods are kind of surrounding it, and you're going to need to go a little bit deeper into it.
okay.
It's going to be about a 30-minute, 45-minute walk deeper to the sightings of the attack, and they're all kind of localized. Not saying that's the exact same spot every single time, but it's roundaboutly.
Did it say who posted the job?
It was a tavern keeper.
Tavern keeper, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if like
he had
it
put
was
it
more
up, and
information or
you
something.
can see like stains from ale or food
Oh,
on
okay.
it. I mean, and
Trademark.
but it seems like it's been aged. It's a dried stain. So this has been up for a couple of weeks, if that.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys, we're all heading.
As we start to move, O'Darren is going to kind of stay around 7. He hasn't really seen anything like 7.
None of
wonder
you
how it
have.
works.
None of you. There are automatons, so to speak, but they are usually controlled. There is somebody. You almost. I don't want to make you think of that wireless like R2D2 at like Disney World where they're like walking behind it, but there is some sort of like magical mechanical like
Yeah, like a golem.
thing to almost exactly like a golem. Yeah. So but yeah, he's a new breed.
O'Darren, you know, he's about knowledge, so he's really going to be interested in stuff.
Okay.
I sort of notice this and I lean down a bit and I just go, oh, don't worry. I also don't know why I am.
I feel like he hunches down for every single conversation, and it's just terrifying every time because I can just see him like laying down, like
And
no
it's-
personal space whatsoever.
We'll say that's not even like it's more of what's the word? It's just by instinct now. Just because so many people are below you, you're almost like intrinsically kind of like walking a little bit more forward with that hunch into it.
Oh man.
Yeah, but like there is times when you stand up, like when you're just walking, you're walking around, but I mean you're not walking around like this with Felix all the time. Even though sometimes he might need to shout up a little bit. But yeah. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Are we still in the square? Then?
Yeah, we're starting to head out from the square.
But
Okay, I stroll up.
Yeah,
Gentlemen, machine and lady, Eldon Tallfellow, at your service. I'm in need of some gold too, and looking for adventure. I was eyeing that piece for a while, and seeing that there's a band I would like to join in with you guys.
Do we really need another body on this one?
I mean, we need all the halflings we can get, so I'm down
Very-
for. I'm
I
down for
assure
him.
you, I am very gifted
What
with
are your
skills.
specialties?
There may be several
Ex-spy.
bodies when we're done.
Ooh. Even if he's lying, if not, I mean, we still got somebody that can talk. I like it.
That's fine, yes.
I'm down for that.
Why are you in X-Spy?
That's a good. Well, if he was an ex-spy, he wouldn't necessarily be alive now, would he?
I can tell you that.
Right, I'm not exactly sure we need a spy for a beast, but if we do need someone to act like prey for a beast,
Hey.
he might be useful. Sure, he can come along.
No shorter than this fellow over here.
Yeah, look at that.
He's got a fancy glowing crossbow.
Session 1. Who's the cannon fodder?
You hear from the back.
Are you a scout?
If I get too intrusive, just let me know.
I've been known to go unseen.
Then there is the body right there.
There you go.
No, that's,
See? Hey.
that's, I don't mind.
I cannot do that.
You can't. Hey, but you know what? Your strengths lie in other things.
Can you do that?
That's what we. Yeah, say we want to break.
Tall.
We want to break the ice really quick, and everyone just check him out before we start like passing glances and stuff.
I
Because
was
you.
wondering if there was anything in there, and I rapped on his.
Whoa,
on his helmet.
no, whoa, right.
Okay, that is a good question. If we'll say that he does like a on you, is it hollow or is it dull?
Oh man, I like these
It-
questions.
Sort of has like.
Ooh,
Ooh, it's a good sound.
he's ASMR bot, man. I love it.
At work, so like
I love it.
I know exactly.
Okay.
Love it.
So it
Fair.
kind of dings a little bit.
There's
but
there's a little bit of resonance in there. Doesn't feel completely hollow. Doesn't feel like he's packed to the brim or anything. But yeah,
I think the real question is, did you feel that?
yes, of course.
There you go.
Well, do not feel bad, my friend. I've worked with many people who had the same sound when I wrapped their helmets.
Nice.
Bad.
Are you one of them? And he goes
I love it.
and dings on your head. Well,
non-lethal damage.
Roll strength attack now.
maybe work.
Okay. Anything? We'll say that you guys get under road. I'm sorry. I like having like one of each die out. It's weird. It's a problem. So you start heading out. We'll say it does take about 30 minutes, 45 minutes to get there. Feel free if there are any burning questions while we get there. Anything you guys
What
want to
time
know?
of day are we looking at?
So you pulled into Down Banner. It was probably, we'll say, around 10 o'clock in the morning. Most things, the fishers are fishing. They're fishery. Well, I thought of fisheries and fishermen at the same time, so it came fisher. The fishers are already out on the bay. Those that obviously want limited area to farm around there, because it's mostly wood around, is doing their small farms. And when I say small farms, it's more or less like glorified home gardens now to us. I mean, it'd probably be the equivalent of like maybe from that wall to that desk and as wide. Specific yields.
Yeah. Enough for them, and then a little bit more if they wanted to like barter. Or
The
something.
beauty of Egernesia is that it kind of experiences almost every biome possible. So this is a great place to get some exotic fruits, but also to have some of your traditional like wheats, grains. More the wheats and grains are more towards the tranquil plains to the southwest, but yeah, so everyone's going about their business. This is more or less you just happen to maybe wake up like 10 minutes before this.
Bad time.
Yeah,
We're good.
But you were definitely the last person to arrive in town. And like I said, it's about 10 o'clock. We'll say that once these pleasantries were traded, it's going to be about 11:15 before you guys start heading out.
Okay. Cool. I just didn't want to go out in the forest at night.
Oh yeah, man, it's
That
pitch
was
black.
when you were
You're
like, yeah,
screwed.
let's go start going. I'm like, well, we need to figure out time.
It's in the middle of the night.
I don't care what group we have.
He's in the shadows of a building at night.
He just said he was a spy, and I was like, oh my gosh. If I
But-
couldn't see him in the middle of the day, no.
Anything else travel-wise before we arrive to the spot?
We're on foot, right?
You are on foot, there are some paid travels, for lack of a better word. There's fast travels. You can hitch a ride onto some cart or something like that for a trade of a good or a service. But yeah, some of you arrive that way. Some of you arrive by foot because unfortunately you all mount, my lord.
You could ride in a wagon. It's okay.
But
You want to be a little inconspicuous.
But yeah, pretty much everyone by foot for the most part. Maybe someone came in with a ferry just from one of the other coastal towns within the bay.
Okay. Cool. Then yeah, I mean, whatever's the fastest way.
Yeah.
Rin, was it? I mean, is anyone else local?
I was actually about to ask that.
I like it. I like it.
You know, gallivanting around a bit. I was really only in town to drink, search for my next quarry, and
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I would say, because if anybody knows the forest, I don't know what we're getting into.
I don't really stay in town very often.
Okay, all right.
You're used to making camp. Definitely off the beaten path and everything. I mean, if you're able to get to bed, great, fantastic, but you're not like a ranger. You're not a ranger. No one here is a ranger.
Great. Cool. Wilderness exploring. All right.
I would say I'm better in an urban setting.
I mean, yeah.
Yep, this all just changed to a city. So, okay.
Poof! The urban jungle.
It's like Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I
Oh
just
my
changed it on the go.
This fantasy's blowing me a bit. But yeah, so I mean, if that's the case, I mean, whoever's the best with. I mean, they didn't even say a map. They didn't have a map. It was literally just a scroll itself. So I guess we need into the forest. That's what it said for it, right?
Okay. Did it mention that the attacks are along the road or within the forest?
So it is along the road because just because of the previous reports of just the average beast or creature to dwell within, not to mention what may be lurking that's unknown. People stick to the roads when they pass through the misty wood. That's kind of been the MO since the Sage of the Last Mantle had begun, since the first High King. Ever since the Ash Wars had ended and everything's kind of, I say repopulated just for the sake of the fauna returns, the flora returned. This is just one area that in Indonesia, it's kind of you don't go unless you absolutely have to, and if you have to, you might as well bring an army or something like that.
Okay.
So just for the unknown stuff that could be in there.
So I guess, I mean, if anything, if we're just going along the path, we just don't want to look onto the teeth. We want to look at the target, right?
Or even though I'm more used to the urban setting, I still have some carryover tracking skills.
Okay.
So once we get closer to it,
Scout anything out?
yeah, problem. So scouting, like you said.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I'll say I'm digging that. I'm gonna fidget around with some of my stuff a little bit. And
What is that? That crossbow?
oh, yeah, this will do that. It's nothing. We might get to use it later and we can show it off. But this thing, it's my little baby. We can talk about it later. It's
Nice.
okay.
I was honestly more concerned with that than
Let's just not make sure this breaks, because I don't want to be near it. Let's just make that abundantly clear. If it's glowing blue, let's make sure it doesn't break.
that's.
It's good. Let's live by those rules.
I have my own rules as well. I appreciate the respect.
I love it.
Us party to all this creation, like that terrifies the shit out of me because I know almost nothing about that, and that's awesome. I love it. I love it.
If it looks shiny and you don't know what it is, it's probably gonna blow up.
Don't touch it.
Hey, it's glowing blue and it's humming. If you listen to it, it's just, if you get really close, it's just.
Felix, your vagueness terrifies me sometimes.
Hey, so does your height. Let's go. Let's do this. Round up.
Comes out of my pocket, and I quickly start scribbling.
The note taker in world and out of world. It's just the best. I love it.
So, if you'd rather not appear heavily armed,
I mean, that's kind of a problem, but hey.
break this one in a cloth.
He just looks at his arms and he's like, they are quite tough.
Sorry. Yes,
Do you have a tarp?
I do.
That's I mean,
Someone local. Are there any, clothes hanging on the wash line?
Oh, plenty. I mean, everyone's going about their basic deeds and whatnot. There's clothes hanging out to dry. There's women down by the waterfront wringing out stuff.
So Banner will approach one of them near one of the lines that maybe is working on hanging it up, and will ask, "Good lady, may I purchase this from you?"
Oh, Lord, he's a fancy man. Oh, yes.
I'm going to need several of them. You see my tall friend right here.
Oh God! I was gonna say, like, how close is 7? Because I don't want. I was like,
Standing like a bit off to the distance, but still like imposing.
Worry not, he's quite harmless at this point. To you, anyway.
I know this is. Oh, glories. Okay. I have a couple of them. How many you need?
Say 3.
Yeah, one for the head and
yeah.
three charms.
Yeah, 3. Not a problem. And big one over them for him.
Yes.
The big ones. Okay, so she almost like steps around here, whoa, boom, from like some like flacking out something, and it's pretty much like a California king size sheet. That she brings out one of those, be like, I got this massive one, and then kind of 2 of these little bigger ones over here, like not as big, more of a queen, 2 queen sizes. But this be what you need if you don't mind, and don't mind me asking, but can I get like 10 copper?
I'll give her several silvers.
You can tell from her station of her clothes that she is lowly. She's just she's a farm girl.
Yeah, I would say, is this town like just like town, like a, I know you kind of said like one street kind of in.
It more or less
like
is.
a minor little like villa kind of.
It's a little bit bigger than an old western-sized town,
gotcha.
but not as,
But he does lean in and cups his hand over hers and says,
Oh,
but don't tell everyone, or everyone will be harmed.
Are you keeping a secret from like all of us? Or
No, okay.
like
We got a spy over here.
just instant into the bosom to the left underneath. You see, there's a lift in a drop.
Left in a drop.
It is kept.
Didn't hear a word, still taking notes about 7.
He's still just doing a report.
So you have a California king and 2 queen size sheets for.
He's gonna be one. He's gonna look like a ghost.
Oh my God.
A haunting visage.
If you
of
could
death.
find a basket that can fit you, it looked like ET. I'll give but
Inspiration.
Man, you can't be sending around your money every time you meet someone. How much are you carrying around? And if you pay off like that, you guys take the gold and I can go off somewhere else.
You know that's all right. But sometimes the people need a little bit of inspiration in their lives. If I can help with that, I will.
So
Interesting character traits.
I like that.
So that silver is different money. Yes.
Yeah, that's that economics we were talking about. It's man, we're gonna have to talk about this now, aren't we?
How many monies are there?
How old are you?
As we continue to travel, I will explain economics to
Yeah.
7 because I don't want to have to do that in
and
audio
you've
format.
seen some exchanges of like metals for other metals, metals for meats, metals for animals, animals for
Yeah.
people. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
throughout this world, it's just kind of the way it is.
Yeah.
But you from every now and again, but it's always just been like a phone and then walk about. You can never really
It's all about transfer of goods.
Yeah.
Let's inflate this economy, Evan.
Let's do it. I did forget starting gold.
No, it's all good.
Okay, cool. I was like,
does. As he's starting to turn away, he goes back to the woman and says, by the way, there was a little girl there earlier. A small blonde girl. Do you know her?
Oh, yes and no. So she's very kind. She comes up and helps me sometimes with my chores, and I'll give her some food or something like that. But she's never really talked, and I don't know her name. And actually, I don't think anyone knows her name. We think that maybe one of the creatures took her parents or something like that. But she doesn't have any family here in town.
This creature, what do you know of it?
Oh Lord, I heard it tears into people right. It just rips their guts from their bodies and everything, and very little's left. But I also heard of just like, maybe like a passerby or two. I'm completely unscathed. It's the weirdest thing.
Has anybody ever seen this thing?
Do you feel that?
Yes.
we're gonna start paying you for that. You better just, it's okay.
Pay to touch.
Yeah. You need to ask for permission. He is his own man or person. What do you? Never mind. Just.
And you see, he sort of looks down, and he's just like, I'm a man.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but it sounds bad too. I will figure it out. You know.
It doesn't really matter in that regard.
Well, but if he chooses to be, or it chooses, oh man, this is already going to be bad. Whatever it decides it wants to be. There we go, man. There we cool. There you go, fluidity.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just ask him first. You don't just start a knocking. Come on now.
And what direction did the little girl
Put
go?
up his hand.
Oh, you're fine.
So when you saw her leave, it's almost like she ran past Eldon and went around the corner. You don't really know the layout of this town, seeing that you just kind of blew in, but doesn't really make sense based on what you saw. Much housing past that point to where she could have gone to if there was a homestead of some sort for her.
Did we see that little girl? Or did
You all would have you all would
Okay.
have seen her run off and everything.
All right,
but
cool.
he's the only one that had a conversation with her. Air quotes for the people listening.
Interaction. Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's a good interaction.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know how we're gonna dress up 7 here, but
I have some rope if we need to tie the harps on.
okay. All right. I mean, I don't know. How do
You
you
can
want to?
make
How
it
do you
look
want to
like-
do this? Because I'll say you need to be a part of this
We'll just
conversation.
rope him up.
Well, look like a
Your
tall monk.
clothing customary. I never really needed this.
That's true. You can make them look like cargo. That'd be great. If somebody tries to steal them.
Cargo or Banner's monk idea isn't bad.
Yeah, I like that too.
It's simple travel.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. What would that? How would we go about making that?
Give me, because essentially you're trying to make him look like something else, but you're also having to type it. I will take either a survival check, or I will take. We'll fold this into a deception check. One of those two, because you're trying to make him look like something he is not.
Is this a group thing, or is this
If someone wants to aid you, I'll give advantage.
okay? Because I say
I am good survivor.
I'm flat even on both. Unfortunately,
Yeah, different. Give me some. I try.
we have a montage of dressing him up to walking on sunshine.
Eldon, our fashionista. Just walking.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I am master of disguise.
Oh yeah. There you go.
turtle. That's all I
He's perfect for the turtle club.
These segues are going to happen. Everyone, I appreciate you riding along with me because they are going to be great.
Is it deception?
Yeah, deception or survival.
First roll.
First roll.
Can I assist?
Nat 20.
Oh man.
Nat 20 on the first roll.
That's
How are you
We went
wanting to
D&D.
make him
So I'm going
make them
downhill
look?
from here.
I
Season
like the
over.
idea of monk. So I'm
Okay.
going to wrap him up in the big sheets.
This is,
Not when he can't move, obviously.
and if I'm not mistaken, do you have a disguise kit?
I do.
So all this experience of like you doing it
Perfect.
yourself, like with I'll say with that nat 20, with the natural hunching that Seven does when he's in conversation, he almost now looks like just a taller monk, kind of draped down so you can't see the face or anything. You know, the arms tucked in, almost Jedi-ish. But yeah, this is probably one of your best works. He looks like one of the monks from Monty Python.
Love it. I love it.
He's just into it.
I'm looking forward to whoever's going to make him not be disguised anymore.
Now he
They're
must make
going to
him look-
die. They're going to
Make him
just
look
heart
important.
attack.
Oh yeah,
It's going to be an intimidation success.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I mean, he's got the look.
I'll be honest, Eldon. That looks really good.
Yeah. You said spy, right? Not fashionita, because that. Oof.
You roll up your measuring tape. You're like,
Little seamstress kit and just folds it back in.
I would assume a disguise kit would have some sort of measuring
It's like a
length
cosplay
thing.
kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can repair cosplay at conventions.
Yeah, literally. All a disguise kit can.
Put away his notebook.
All right.
If anybody actually looks
That
at
being
his face,
said,
it's just
your
a big mouth,
books,
mustache.
because we have multiple books. Obviously, we have that book, we have your spell book, and we have your notes book.
I keep
Are
a
those
special one.
are they like hidden, or are they just kind of like you can tell that he's into books?
They are. The special one is hidden.
Okay.
The others are in.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. So you see, Darren has been keeping notes. Note taker of the group, apparently, but folds up and everything. But God. So we'll say you all get underway. it takes 30 to 45 minutes, getting a little bit more acquainted with each other. What I will start to do is when you start reaching the area, give me a perception check. Whoever wants to, go for it. Perception or investigation.
Oh yeah, okay.
I like to be inclusive. 18. If you want to, yeah. If you want to, you don't have to.
8. 6 total.
8.
17. Gosh.
11.
That makes sense for you. You just come looking
So,
down.
what did you 3 roll? What, investigation?
Yeah, I did investigation.
Investigation.
Okay. So, what you two see is you're starting to come across areas where limbs have been snapped from their trees. You even see almost looks like a stone was crushed, not like it was thrown and crushed, but like a heavy pressure was put on. You know how when you put pressure on something and like it cracks almost underneath from that weight. You start seeing some grooves into the ground where they look like tracks. You don't necessarily know what, because it's just investigation. You found the tracks. Don't necessarily know what they are. Now, for you, what you are noticing is that it's gotten a little bit quieter around here. Before, you're walking through the woods, you hear the rustling of squirrels or hares or birds even. It's getting quieter. It's not silent. It's getting quieter, and there's some fog that's kind of rolling in. Not a thick one, but airily reminiscent of a fog machine. Kind of, you hear
It's all coming together.
your perception, you hear no, I'm kidding. But yeah, so starting to get a little bit more fogged, and you see remnants of like boxes or crates, shattered boxes or crates, and it starts to pick up a bit more as you get closer to this area.
So Banner is going to kind of, as we're just casually walking, slide a little closer to Elder and say, move that
Say no more.
Yeah, I would say I think when like the group kind of gathers together, Felix kind of like kind of nods to everybody to point down to show the stones, to show to kind of show that we're assisting in that confirmation.
And he'll take out his spear and have it in hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will run
Good,
to the
good.
woods and scout ahead.
Okay, can I get a stealth check from you?
And we'll slow the rest of our pace a little bit.
Sure.
Continue to move.
Not a problem.
We're just chilling out.
Yeah,
Things might be
11
changing
for your
soon,
stealth?
but
Yes.
You're doing good. Just stay with
So you disappear into the woods, and kind of like natural trails that we see here. It's thinner, closer to the road, and it starts to get thicker just because over time people have made the path wider or something like that. Comfortably, 2 carriages could pass by each other on this road. So you have, I would say, almost 30 feet of width. But so you slide in where it starts to get a little bit thicker. Every now and again, you hear a snap, but you just kind of attribute it to him because you rolled an 11. You're doing okay or whatnot. But give me one more stealth check, real quick.
As this is happening.
17.
Yeah, it's gonna-
Okay. Okay. This way more silent. Like you must have hit some dry brush, or maybe some of that broken wood from before. Because now, nothing. You're like, oh no, nothing's touching you. You're sneaking through this whole thing. Can I get a perception check out of you?
Nat 20.
Jesus.
Man, now I'm getting worried because I think you're burning through these.
Jesus.
I know,
We're gonna
right?
hit a rough patch.
This is the
when
first
we
time
leave.
using these dice.
A dragon rolls through. One.
Right patch during combat. I'm already calling it.
No, so, faintly, you can hear this owl just in the distance. but it doesn't sound like a normal owl. It's got a little bit more gravitas, a little bit more bass to the sound. But it kind of sounds a little bit off.
Just him or all of us?
He is, because he's in. You're about, I'm going to say you're honestly probably a good 50 feet into the woods now. And that doesn't sound like a lot. But I mean, 50 feet into like a place that's virtually getting, you're in a quiet area, you're able to pick up something like that. And it doesn't even sound like an aggressive screech or anything like that. It just sounds like an owl. Like a deep bass-voiced owl. There's no way with DMs and players here, I can say that and you not know what it is. You who listen there knew, you don't know. Everyone else knows, but you'll find out. Maybe.
Like to maybe get a little closer.
Okay.
How far is it? I guess you say.
It sounds a little bit off, like in the distance. I can't give you.
Okay.
I can't give you a
Are we
distance.
still moving down the road, or did we agree to kind of wait?
We slowed.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It's more or less like you guys are kind of
Taking a
manning the road
Yeah.
while he's doing this scout.
Doesn't look like any trees have been recently, I guess, broken here.
We'll say that from time to time you can, but it almost looks more like there's natural game trails. Game, speaking of animals, bison, deer, whatever, there's natural game trails where animals have pushed down, pushed over limbs, twigs, whatever that may be. You see some of those, and I mean, you're kind of running parallel to one, kind of staying off from it a bit, but it is a little bit bigger one. But you don't see inherently anything that looked like the violence that you saw at the street, or at the road, I should say. This all looks more or less natural.
Okay. Is it off to, like, I guess, so the road is it like off to my left further into the woods?
So,
as I'm picturing it in my head.
In this bay, you guys are walking this way. So you got the bay is now behind you, and you're walking this way into the woods.
Okay.
You're walking north into the woods. For those of you that have your electronic stuff, if you're able to pull up your map, that would probably help.
Yeah, probably.
Yes. But yeah, that way give you a little bit more context. So you are heading north.
From the west?
Yeah, so the main road comes from the south, curls round going north, going northwest, and it just kind of follows that direction.
I gotcha.
So you're more or less going off of an offshoot from that, because the main thicket is on the northern half of the road, since the southern half is bordering the bay.
Okay. I go back to the group to let them know what I've heard. My friends, to the east, I heard a low screech, like the paper describes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
So we are near.
Yeah.
Start using my tracking abilities to
I'm gonna ready my crossbow.
pinpoint the screech, but I will admit that's a bit.
Was it coming? It wasn't coming from the road though. It was coming from
The woods.
From the woods. Okay.
I didn't get any closer.
Well.
Do I stay with this?
Yeah. No, we're still gonna stay like that. We don't want to look as imposing still.
Maybe I can help a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna snap my fingers, and Raven is gonna appear.
Just out of nowhere, just.
Is that the same thing making the sound?
No.
It's a perfectly valid question from him.
I don't know where
I didn't know how far we were going to play this.
I don't think so.
If that was the case, I don't think
Yeah. It's true. Maybe it was invisible and he just made it visible. I don't know.
You need some help, man?
You're an invisible bird? Oof. Everything's possible with magic, man. Look at you.
And I'm gonna say, all right, Nevermore.
The other way. Behind you.
Tell me what's in front of us.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw it
So
into the air and get you a fly.
his stats are going to be him, they, them, him, it. It's going to have the same stats as you would, if you have a Raven stats, that's perfect. Okay. So, how far did you want him to go?
Well, he's gonna fly into the air and go about 30, 40 feet ahead of us.
As you guys are going in?
As as we're walking and just kind of look around and see if he can see anything.
And you guys are going into the woods now, correct? Is that what I caught?
Yeah.
Okay.
While
that was the
that's
decision.
also happening, I guess can read the actively
Yeah. Give me survival.
survivaling.
Yep. Give me survival. So, staying about 30, 40 feet ahead is Nevermore.
Was that
12
was that a good oof
Okay.
or a oof?
So
right.
you're the party is along the lines of the trail that the game trail that Eldon had been able to find. Staying close to it, you do find as you all go deeper, as Nevermore's up there is not really looking as closely to the intently as to the ground as some of you are. You are seeing some shattered wood, some strips of cloth, even some bloodied, some not. Nevermore, give me a perception check for Nevermore.
I was going to ask if what its name was, and that's awesome.
Very Poe.
That is a
Poetic.
22.
Damn. So if y'all can keep rolling under 10,
I'm getting
it'd make the game more fun.
I'm getting real,
For me.
real nervous, guys.
Because y'all finding like everything. No.
It doesn't matter. We're above the 10 line, man. We're burning them.
We'll say about 20 minutes into this way in, this game trail in, you or Nevermore, because you're able to see what he's seeing, right?
I can, but I would be blind and deaf. So I
Okay,
haven't.
so he's seeing it. You don't know
But
anything.
I can talk to him psychically.
Okay.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Okay. And he'll respond.
Yes.
So, with that, I really want to do the Nevermore voice,
I
but
was
I
waiting
won't.
to see what kind of voice is this raven gonna have.
I'm gonna.
You tell me, what sort of voice do you hear from him, and that way I can be nice.
Cockney. Let's do it.
I'm fine with that.
I'm gonna be honest. I have not even thought of it.
Oh man, it's your world to play with.
If it makes it easier, though, I'm going to. Guys, would someone mind? And I'm gonna reach out and grab someone's shoulder, whoever's closest. And my eyes are gonna go white.
I would say actually
My eyes are gonna go completely white, and I'm gonna see
Okay.
through Nevermore.
So, it is black and white vision, because very few animals can see in color. But you've done this a few times. It's how you learned how to do it. You've even done it from him flying above. But every time, it's just always so amazing to have that literally bird's eye view. How he focuses in and is able to like zoom out almost instantaneously, effortlessly. You do see from his point of view maybe about 100, 125 feet away, there starts to be a natural clearing. He's not able to obviously see in yet because it's still kind of a bit off, but you just kind of see that natural separation in the trees. And these are these are redwoods, they're evergreens, but there also is some sort of like ash or cedar like that. But definitely the prominent trees here are evergreens. Okay. So the fact that there is something just going around destroying parts of these trees is a feat in and of itself, because some of these have a diameter easily of 30 or 40 feet as you're getting deeper and deeper. And so you are seeing, as these trees are getting taller, that separation.
I'm gonna relay this to. I'm assuming that I can still talk.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna relay this to everyone as we're moving.
I think of this like Frumpkin and Caleb Widowgast from Critical Role Season 2.
Gotcha.
Go listen to them on Spotify if you want. But listen to us first. Are we gonna keep going kind of deeper? More or less like you're helping O'Darren along. Every now and again there's a little trip or something.
It's a forest.
But
Come
yeah,
on.
it's
not perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'd say for like, there's no immediate danger. I'd say we just keep going in the direction, keep staying the forest, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say you guys get about 40 or 50 feet in further, and still doing okay. So as he is also about 30 or 40 ahead, is able to get more of a depth of the clearing. It's not like a full clearing, like everything's emptied out. There are still some trees in there, some smaller ones. There are, and you've been passing some larger boulders and some stones and everything. You're starting to see some of that, but it's more or less a place where he's able to see you are able to see some more of these game trails kind of like converging. It looks like a nice little hub from where animals or creatures can travel, something that's already been on the beaten path, more or less.
Okay. And relays that back to us.
I do.
He says nothing.
Silence.
Okay. I mean, how close are we to it?
At this point, it's going to be about 75 feet or so ahead of you. Because you guys are taking your time. You're obviously on airs. You're not just gallivanting into the woods. But yeah, so probably maybe 10-minute walk there, if you guys take your time like you have been.
Okay. I mean, if we're that close, that's what I would say.
Can I get another perception check out of Nevermore?
Oof. 5.
Okay. Some of those birds that had that disappeared when you start getting in this area, you're starting to hear them again through the senses. I don't know if you can understand animal languages when you're in that. I think you would. I don't believe so.
Yeah,
I don't
not
believe
sure.
so. And
think it's house
even
rule.
if you were to do like speak with animals, that'd be on you, not
Yeah.
on him.
Yeah. That'd be great if it
The
was part of
raven
it.
can mimic sounds.
That's true.
Get a Kenku up in here and you can mimic whatever you want. It's just a big Nevermore. That's the end game for O'Dare.
There's your second character.
Is we get a Kenku out of Nevermore. But yeah, so you're starting to hear more of those birds though. It's kind of seeing that this is also a nice place to graze and feed for birds, and they've made their nests as well because you're also up there. You're in some of these bigger trees as well now. A bit more protection.
So I'm going to relay in my mind.
Okay.
I have Nevermore come back. And then I'm going to go back to myself.
Snap back to reality.
Send him away for now?
I'm going to bring him back to me. He's just
Oh,
going
he's
to
just-
come land on my brain. No. As soon as my eyes come back,
Just an intimacy level achieved now.
So you share that with us?
Sorry. Thank you.
So Banner says, interesting. It's moving. Perhaps toward us?
I mean,
If the birds are returning.
that's true. Especially if they're further back that way. I mean, I think at this point, wouldn't we want to send him back up forward if we're coming up to the clearing, so we can scout ahead?
Absolutely.
Give me a stealth.
What?
Please burn another 20.
Eldon,
What?
I live for this.
before you go, Eldon,
That's fine.
take this. And Renbury just peels off her thumbnail
Oh god.
and hands it to you.
Wherever
Don't you need
Felix is located in the party, he moves the complete opposite to
I
go
take it-
to be on the opposite side of 7.
Interestingly,
Those aren't
And as soon as Eldon grabs a hold of the fingernail, you just automatically hear my voice in your head
It's like a walkie-talkie.
using my eerie token as a root.
Oh!
Now, if you are further away, like last time, we can actually communicate. So I think this might be more strategic.
I'm whispering to 7. That's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to be like that. Don't remove like that.
I'm gonna put it in my pouch then.
Okay, you have a thumb. Or you have a thumbnail. Literally a thumbnail.
No, yours doesn't do that.
You have clickbait in your pocket. You have a thumbnail. You have a thumbnail.
That's delightfully gross, and I love it.
For the record of the area, I still think you're touching for that level of period.
7 and picking at
12.
trying to see if you can do something.
12?
similar. Nothing's
Okay.
happening.
So you get a little bit closer. We'll say you get within like about 20 feet of this clearing. And you step on a branch and snap. Snap the branch and it goes quiet.
Did we hear that snap? Oh, no.
It's too far ahead of you.
I freeze.
4 minutes pass by. Nothing. snap. You hear to what would be, from your point of view, it'd be about 15 feet from your specific point, if you're facing north. It's about 20 feet to your northwest, and it's not just a snap. It's like if a fallen tree stump were there and somebody had put their foot through it, like a snap.
Oh.
And you actually, why don't I just give a better representation of what you're?
Oh no!
Oh no, the map.
It's not a snap. That's a thwomp.
I'm in danger.
Yeah,
I'm
in
danger.
I'm in danger.
So thank you, Dungeon Alchemist.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
You even got like the 3D effects and everything.
So
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's the
For
best.
those
Yes.
on YouTube, this is the coolest map I've ever seen.
Could we clear this snap?
None of you are going to be able to see this.
this snap, give me a perception check out of everyone else. Say.
No!
Please burn 20s. I don't mind.
No, I burned my ones.
I did too.
I'm looking in the opposite direction. What?
He's thinking about.
I'm looking straight at the
He's
ground.
thinking about the cloth lady.
16.
One. So
14, 10.
Why did
You
want
two-
to do it low?
You two hear it? Oh, because it's going to be great when he dies by himself.
He's just looking
No, I'm
at
just kidding.
butterflies and stuff, just checking things out.
So you two hear it. It's a little bit more dull, but it is very distinct.
You pick the direction, or is it?
It'd be more for you all. It'd be ahead of you. For him, because he's a lot closer. He knows specifically about 20 feet to his northeast. So
Does Renfrey have a second to like? I can do that.
yeah, we'll say that happens. Yeah.
Renfrey just like pulls up her thumb and speaks quietly to the thumb that has the thumb that's
It's
so weird to think.
The point of this, Eldon, is to constantly communicate. Please tell me what is happening. We just heard something.
Is it coming toward me?
I'll get the table.
The sound?
You just heard the thunk so far.
There was a massive crash to my left. I'm holding silver now. Do I think it, or do I just say it?
I don't know. How does that work?
Is it mental?
You just think it, and I go.
Okay.
You have the attention.
I'll say that's a big deal. That's a big
I don't
point of
wanna talk.
word. I think I'm hidden.
I'm just being gross. That's true.
He's just talking to the thumbnail.
That's true. I want to know that. I whispered
Yeah.
what I just heard as quietly as I can.
You don't know what you're doing with this.
Exactly.
And you're like there's stuff under your
Close enough
cuticle.
to smell it.
I mean, do
It
you?
smells like alcohol from the night before.
But what we'll say is that after you do that, and just because I apologize, I didn't have the ability to print off actual tokens. You see that coming over this little. You see, it's not it. That was if there was going to be more, and y'all didn't know that. Uh-oh. So,
Yay.
you see this head peek over, and it looks like a massive owl head until it remains stationary, and the body catches up with it. Because owls can extend. But yeah. So,
Does it
he's
see me?
well. That's a great question.
I'm little.
do we hear a scream like a little girl?
You remember how y'all were rolling net 20s earlier?
It's all cyclical, guys.
That's
Okay.
also
And your stealth was a 12 earlier, right?
yeah.
Looking around, and then as the body comes up, it just lands right on you, and it lets out this screech. It's like the screech that you heard only it was definitely like an alarm, and you've come across its territory. So I'm going to give you one turn to react before we roll initiative. What do you want to do?
Are there trees near me?
Yeah, so I mean, you see what you're seeing right there.
He's the E.
Okay.
So you got the rocks to your left. To your right, you can obviously back up into where you came from, which is back this way. Yeah. But you got the game trail kind of runs one to your left, kind of splits off, one to the north and northwest, and then you got one heading east.
Disguise yourself like a rock.
You have a disguise kit. Roll another 20.
Cosplay as a rock. Cosplay as a rock.
Be like PETA from Hunger Games.
Frodo with his clothes.
I'm going to attempt. I'm going to try to climb up the tree, get off the ground.
Give me athletics.
Athletics?
Mm-hmm. If you were jumping from the limb to limb, it'd be great, but you're just trying to get up the damn tree, and this is a redwood.
Yeah,
It's gonna be after the.
it's a big boy.
12.
Man, that 20 would have been nice.
So,
Right?
so
I got my first one in 1975.
So the moment that you head for a tree, we'll say that probably.
Honestly, this is going to be the closest big. I apologize. Don't mean to be leaning over.
Oh, I thought that was a tree right there. I'm bad.
Oh, this right here? Yeah. Oh, no, that ain't. That's a Charlie Brown tree. You could probably get up this one if you wanted.
Okay.
The moment that you start doing that, this owlbear bounds down and tries to start following behind you.
Let me see.
Cocaine owlbear, yeah.
Cocaine owlbear.
Yeah, it's almost like that big boulder is impeding it for some reason. Although it has the wisdom, maybe, of an owl, it does not have the smarts, and doesn't figure out to go around the rock. It's trying to climb up it, and it's very much like Mufasa trying to get up the ledge right now. Oh man, long live the king, this guy. But it's not that big of a rock. But yeah, we'll say you're able to get up about 20 feet up this redwood, which is not bad at all.
No.
But
How tall is an owlbear?
an owlbear is a large creature. It stands from, well, on average, it can stand anywhere from 7 to 8 feet tall. And I think that's being conservative for like a young adult owlbear, which is about what you're at.
You haven't seen it yet. We'll wait.
But okay, what are you doing? You are, for the moment, safe.
Safe? I tell them there is a freaking owlbear. Help.
He's screaming into a thumbnail.
Yeah, basically, I don't know.
There's no whispering anymore.
Okay, it sounds like Eldon has found whatever is massacring the merchants.
Why would you say this? How do you know?
Doesn't matter. I'll explain later.
He has to explain a thumb on the run. Green
We need
thumb.
to go to wherever Eldon. You won't hurt the screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we?
Did we hear scream?
Oh yeah, you would have heard
All right,
this.
that's
You would have
it.
heard this.
I'm going to touch the chest and cast mage armor.
I think, yeah, we can stand. We can stand up. We can stand up.
now.
But do we want to do a tactical approach and sneak over and maybe try different angles? Maybe Eldon's the bait.
Banner yells back, sneak if you want, I'm
Yeah.
on my way.
There you go.
I'm going to touch my chest.
Alrighty.
Mage armor.
Oh wow! Already doing going to town with mate.
charging in?
Well,
We'll say that you come in right here. You're green. I found my son's construction paper, so you all are random colors.
If I'm not purple, I'm not.
Oh, he's purple.
Hey, it's all right. That's my proxy.
You are. I thought you were for a second. No.
Witchcraft.
You are like a sky blue, and then O'Darren's an orange, and Renvery is a deep blue because the only other color was black. And I wanted to make enemies red just because
It's more aesthetically.
and it's poor man laminated, which means it's packaging tape on both sides.
Hey, laminated's better than
Hey,
no
duct
laminated.
tape. We'd appreciate any. No, I'm kidding.
They
Duct
can't
tape
see this.
sponsorship.
Just describe the most intricate mini hand painting.
Yeah. We
Oh,
have
yeah.
a 50-inch screen.
This
that's
is
showing
gorgeous.
all of this. right?
We have holograms. And
You know that Star
If
Wars
only
chess
you
game?
could
It's like that.
it's like Sabak from Star Wars.
Yeah, there you go. That was yeah. Not sponsored.
I know how to play Sabak. It's a problem. But yeah, so Eldon, you see Banner just rolling like, just really like,
an array of light behind him. His hair no.
and it's all because of the sunshine cascading through the canopy. But it's just ricocheting off his armor and whatnot.
Glistening armor.
I will give everyone else something, and then we're gonna roll. Anything? Mage armor.
I sort of stand up and I reach for my hand axe and just sort of not necessarily sprinting, but like doing.
I was trying to remember if you actually had a weapon or not.
Quicker jog in, especially after Banner runs in and just like we're going.
You're a speed walker.
Yeah.
kind of like not sleepily, but kind of like fast, like prancing, just kind of like behind Banner, using Banner as cover.
Okay, we'll say that you are more than kind of behind Banner.
You think
So
cover?
until you guys actually get on the board, we'll say that y'all are kind of Felix. I assume you're.
I am behind 7. Yes.
And then we'll say that y'all are kind of until you get into the board.
And you know what? For the sake of no, keep it
Use
as
my
is.
mobile cover.
Keep it as is. So let's roll initiative, folks.
And it's time. As Bruce Buffer likes to say.
Apparently, my wife left me a note in this notebook. Love you, Rachel. If you want to sponsor an episode, let me know. All right.
Oh, we're tied. Should I do calligraphy?
Okay, and I'm gonna do this the Matt Mercer way. We got 20 to 25. 20. Okay.
Wait, what?
I thought we were tied.
20 to 25 was for initiative. Did you get a 20 to 25 for your initiative?
Did I get it? Oh,
No.
gotcha.
Okay. I didn't even roll for him. Oh boy. Oh boy. 15 to 20. 19. Higher decks. Who?
20.
You have 20? Okay, so hold on. So we got Eldon.
I also have a +3.
Me too.
Oh my god.
Roll off. Or unless somebody wants to acquiesce to another person.
I'll
Roll off.
go behind you guys.
Okay. Yeah. I
I'll go.
don't.
Now go behind.
Okay, I'll go first. Yeah.
Okay, so 7. Renfrey.
Alright, I love you guys. We'll see you soon.
Darren. Obi. Obi didn't roll very well. Owlbear. Obi. So that's gonna take us Banner. You're at the top of the key.
I got a 9.
With I'm sorry. Oh,
Mine got so low.
Felix at the bottom. So we got Banner with Eldon on deck.
All right. I'm going to move in to where I have a clear shot.
Okay, so I'm gonna have y'all participate on this behalf and move people as well for me.
We need one of those
just so I can.
poker sliders.
Yeah. What's your movement? How much do you want to move?
30? Well, yes, 30. I'm going to move.
Man, I'm impressed these hexagons almost fit exactly within
I'm
this.
going to move about 25 that direction.
This direction?
5,
That
10,
way. One more.
20.
Back up one. There we go.
Okay.
We need a laser
I
pointer
need one of those.
and
Yeah, laser.
yeah.
Bring in my
I'm gonna remember.
And so he's moving, hurling the spear.
Okay. Roll to attack.
That is a 19. Hit.
You hit.
Nice.
First attack's a hit. First attack's a hit. Let's use the properly colored dice. Oh, yeah. That would be 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 1. It's a 4.
Okay.
It's still a 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So next is going to be Eldon with 7 on deck.
Can I see the owlbear from where I'm at?
Oh yeah, you're looking down.
At it?
Yeah. So you're over the. You're just over the big stone.
Okay. Draw my crossbow.
Big Rock
or
Canyon
not
Mountain.
crossbow, my short bow and fire.
Okay.
I just got my first pair of
15?
Hit.
I like looking down at it.
Did you get it graded?
And at this rate, he may not. Ooh, it was cocked. Yep. 4.
8 total.
Okay. 7 with Renfrey on deck.
I just can't list the whole silver ones there.
Yeah, if it lands in here, it's going to be cocked. Unless it lands exactly like that, it's going to be cocked.
First 7 sort of, kind of assesses the situation, and then he sort of looks and just like, do we want this dead or alive?
It said, hey,
That's right.
possibly.
If we can subdue it, that'd be great, but we need to protect our
I should have known. It's
compadre.
killed people.
It did an angry screech at our friend, so I don't think he wants to hug it out.
It could take your armor.
The crickets.
I'm trying to count squares here.
Is that that'll be in post edit?
Oh, perfect.
No.
I how are we counting this path?
We'll say that the first square is going to be. So I'm going to say that you guys are just off the board. Your movement is going to be 5, 10. Ignore those half. There was no way for me to put a perfect 36 by 36 on a 16 by 20 poster. So, which this actually works out almost perfectly. Just saying. If I'd cut you guys into squares, it probably would have fit perfectly.
Oh.
I think I can make it.
What's your movement?
30.
Dang.
That enough?
5,
Fast
10,
boy.
15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And how tall is that rock piece? Is it?
He's just able to shoot over it. I'm going to say it's 15, 16 feet tall.
Okay. So with this, I'm going to rage.
Okay.
And as I rage, you see 7 sort of pokes out a little bit. So something happens in which basically if armor plates sort of grow bigger, the sort of minds inside of him kind of start unraveling a bit, and he grows to double the size. Whoa! And is now 14 feet tall.
You don't see that?
Yeah, so that's why I'd be like, hey, you might want to get out of his way. Like, just kind of, hey.
Are you considered a large creature now?
I imagine
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to keep that in mind because technically you're taking up 4 squares right now. As a large creature.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go. So yeah,
Hercules.
I imagine the clothes that I'm wearing just like.
Oh, yeah, monks.
So, if you don't mind me taking some creative license with it, so because of your construction, it's almost as if watching Groot Hulk out, but he obviously has his metal components, but like he had said, it is not. If it is wood, it's not a wood that you know anything about. But he does go from more of this like the Steve Rogers before
Lanky,
the
yeah.
serum to like after. Yeah, it's a Hulkbuster armor almost. For reference of size. And even when you do this, you don't necessarily understand the process of it happening. You just know this is what happens when I do this.
Yeah.
So still one of those mysteries for you.
Yeah, and also with this, the hand axe that was normal size, also side weapon.
Delightful. I was about to say, is that going to be a toothpick now?
So yeah,
It's one of those like hors d'oeuvre.
Oh, yeah.
skewers.
But and then he just looks up to the owlbear and just smash it down on this thing with his hand axe.
Okay.
This would be 21.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would hope that
I
hit.
would very much hope.
Oh, just wait. I'll get mine. Does a 37 hit you or something?
Yeah.
Not right now, but later in the game.
Yeah, of course.
When you're fighting Tiamat, who knows?
About 10 slash.
10.
I maxed out on that.
That's it's a spicy
Anything
meatball.
else for 7? So you moved, attacked, bonus actioned. I don't think you have anything else.
The rage was my bonus. So.
The rage was your bonus?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You had your bonus, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Renfrey with Odarin on deck. You are able to step on this clearing, Renfrey, and to be honest, as with your movement 7, this growth is accompanied with some sort of sound. It's not necessarily loud by any means, but it's also not that steampunk-ish sound that you all think with animatronics and whatnot. There is some sort of almost animalistic groan when it happens.
So just like some bass, like somebody maxed out a subwoofer, just kind of thing? Or are you talking
That's
more
probably
organic?
the equivalent to.
Not dropping the bass, but like
Speakers open up.
But it's like if you
All
played.
right. So Renfrey, what do you want to do?
Hi, get out there and see 7.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of secrets in there.
I'm actually gonna
I am going to expend 30 movements and get up to here.
Okay.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. I can just go in a straight line.
Could have gone straight ahead and got 25. You got 5 left to move.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My other question then is, how
Would that be difficult terrain?
Okay, that's it would be. You'd have to climb it. It's about 10 feet tall.
Okay. I will save that movement for another turn.
Okay.
Depending on what the owlbear does.
Okay.
As a bonus action, with my still bleeding thumb.
Jesus.
Blood falls down, and this magical aura erupts around Renbury, and then also the owlbear as I cast Hex.
Okay.
So we all collectively, ooh, I love it. I love it.
And this magical aura is about like lavender in color, the same color as just Renbury in general.
Okay.
And the ability I'm affecting is going to be Strength.
Okay.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
And just for now, do I have a clear line of sight? Is that tree technically in the way?
Well, it's not so much the tree, but now you're more or less having to look around Seven's legs. But the tree is not big enough to completely obscure the owlbear, but it is more or less if you're going to try and take a pot shot.
Is there some kind of cover involved at that point?
Yeah, I would say that it's probably a quarter cover.
Okay.
At that point, just because the legs are going to be in the way. Well, most of the body's going to be in the way.
I'm going to, I haven't mentioned before, I'm going to take out the heavy crossbow that kind of like sits on Rendra's back.
Okay.
This large monstrosity of this yew wood type thing that has cool fey-like carvings on it. And she just rests it against the rock and takes a very deep breath and does precision shot.
Ooh. And because that gives you a +5 or a +10?
It's going to be a D8.
Oh, a D8. Sorry.
Take the plus.
I'm thinking a sharpshooter from. I'm thinking a sharpshooter from.
Yeah.
Guns. Yeah.
Sorry. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, that's 20. Wow.
Okay.
I didn't even need this.
So you're gonna hit. What we're gonna say is that expertly shot. It almost Renfrey almost times it so that like as you are like recoiling from your attack, just boom, between your legs, and it just nails the owlbear in its neck. How much damage?
Sorry, Hex. My beyond is acting up. Hex is D6, right?
I believe so.
Damage.
Let me double check. But yeah. D&D Beyond is a great resource for you if you ever want to play your games. Because you got 90 feet. All the DMs in the game are currently googling as
1d6 necrotic.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So a question for that is: are we doubling the?
You will double all damage.
Ooh, yeah. I was about to ask for crit. That's a good question.
Yep.
I'm not. Hey, I know I'm off the board. Am I 20 feet away from her?
So
I know I'm off the board. That's why I'm asking.
are we doubling after the additional?
You'd be about 10.
Okay. So I rolled a D1 on my D10 plus 3. So 4.
Your damage combined double.
So your dice
Just double. Just yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Double your dice and add the modifier.
I just do 10 total damage.
Okay.
But it still looks pretty cool in my head.
Okay.
It's still an expert shot. It's just hard to find a vital point between this large robotic monstrosity.
If he's within 20 feet, they can't see it. I'm gonna do anchor. I want to use my reaction to make an anchor of that roll with my device.
And what does Anchor do? I apologize.
So I save the roll.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
He's well. Ooh,
that's what I was saying.
You're 10 off the board.
That's what I was saying.
That's 25 ahead. So yeah.
So no. Okay. Never mind. Don't worry. Never mind. Scratch it.
Yep. Okay.
I think that's the end of my turn. I use my bonus action, main action.
Okay.
So place it up against the rock.
Seven looks over and like, good shot. Be careful, please.
Is the voice still normal, or did it get bigger
It
too?
kind of got a little bit bassy.
Okay,
but
cool.
it sounds
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna ask.
but very, just a little bit though, not by much. Darren.
No worries, guys.
Yeah.
Bear is going to run
A lot
out.
of kids come here. I like that. I love that. That makes me so happy. 2 and 7 games. Your kids and your whole family is welcome. They have games for everybody here.
To about there. I'm going to kind of look around. Now I have a question. I have my familiar out. Should I roll initiative for the familiar, or
If you're intending for the familiar to be in combat, yeah.
probably won't, but
Then no.
for future reference?
Yep. For future reference, if you intend to use them in combat, I would you should include it.
Okay.
And that I don't think that's true to it, but I like calling that because otherwise that's free shot.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna assess the situation.
it's assessed.
Consider it assessed.
And I'm gonna yell, duck! And you're gonna see 4 orbs shoot out of my hand in the colors of fall.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Magic Missile.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You just so from the owlbear's perspective, it's looking up at this giant and then
Yeah.
and just gets hit repeatedly. I apologize. Go
After
ahead.
getting hit with a
I'm sorry,
crossbow.
it's 3 darts. not-
3 darts.
Still.
I
Get to 4.
apologize.
We'll get to 4. Yeah. Now the real question: do those look like ducks? You can make them look. This is your world.
Yeah, you can make him look whatever you
They're
like.
orbs, but they're in the colors of fall.
Okay.
Okay.
You said duck, and so I'm like, and you had you made a bird appear, and so like, I'm sorry. Man, I don't know what to expect.
Word play.
Felix is literally just like honed in on this.
It's 11 points of damage.
11. Okay.
Those ducks quack.
Quack, quack,
So
quack.
it's like, these are ducks now?
Okay. So it's the owlbear's turn.
As a bonus
Oh, sorry.
action-
Go ahead. Sorry. I apologize. Ooh. Bad DM.
But
Yeah. I'm gonna leave my hand extended.
Okay.
And you're gonna see these like white wisps come out of it
Okay.
and attach to 7. And you are going to gain 6 temporary hit points.
hey,
Didn't need them, but love them.
oh, it's the Elver's turn, so you might need those.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
knows?
actually, that being said,
Okay, we kind of shock and awe this
so
poor
it
guy.
wasn't going to be a huge issue until somebody heard massive. But from over here,
Oh.
a screech, as well as barreling through here as well. 2 more owlbears appear.
really glad that I came up in the rear.
So the initial owlbear is going to turn and does not like 7 doing that at all. And it's going to it's going to both bite and swing one of its claws at you. So the first one's going to be a 22 to hit as it takes a bite out of you with the beak, and then I'm going to roll.
Say menage a owl? No, that's not.
Oh
we're
no,
not there
I
yet.
see it.
Okay. All right. Net 20 with that. So, yeah, y'all thought y'all
Thanks for those
could.
extra hit points. I appreciate
You
it.
you thought you were the only ones to roll net 20.
Probably be that easy.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So from the bite, you're going to take 13 damage.
Man.
Was that divided in half because of rage?
No, so it's going to be. So what did I say? I said 12, 13. So you'd round up, so it's going to be 7.
Okay, so
Yep.
7.
7 damage.
Okay.
And then 6,
Yeah, keep forgetting that you get that.
18, 36, 18. You're going to take 18 points of slashing damage from the claw because he critted. So,
Okay.
Those are some big boy numbers, guys.
y'all want to roll 20? No, I'm just kidding. And the we'll say that the other 2 are going to move forward, and I'm going to wait for this. Because we haven't got much movement.
Here I am, just chewing your ears off back.
So Ren's gonna get clever girled in just a moment.
Okay, so it's leftover spaghetti. So it's going to be Felix with Banner on deck.
Okay.
Felix, what you want to do?
Well, put me on the map. I'd like that for one. Get me. There's that little like pebble rock thing that's like right there.
Right in the midst of everybody.
Yeah, right there, right up in the mix. And then what I'm going to do.
Culling.
Hey, microphone or mics, come on. I am going to pull out. I'm going to pull out this little thing out of my side pocket and crack it open. You see blue light kind of flourish up from it. And I'm going to cast Bless.
Okay.
So Ren, I cannot pronounce your name.
Oh, Darren.
Oh, Darren. And then 7, these little orbs are going to fly out from it and kind of wisp off onto each of you and kind of hover around you guys. So for up to a minute, whenever you make an attack roll or a saving throw, you can roll a d4 and add it to it. So just kind of like a little aid, so to speak. And that's, I'll say, other than that, that's kind of it. I'm trying to I see those two big boys, and I'm still kind of trying to position myself behind them.
Okay.
That's
I'm here for it. So anything else?
That's it. That's
All
my
right,
action.
Banner with Eldon on deck.
All right. Banner is going to
Slaughter.
start moving his hands, and he's going to say, Rexon, then strength to my steel. Cast magic weapon on his longsword. And then he is going to say, excuse me, pardon me. And he's going to dash on in between those two towards that owlbear.
Owlbear B.
Yes.
Yep. It was going to be only the one, and then somebody grew 14 feet tall and made a calamity.
Calamity.
a commotion? No.
Out of game.
He draws forth
Calamity
his
trademark.
longsword as he
Okay.
advances, and then he's going to use his bonus action to go ahead and strike.
Okay.
Do it to it.
That is 13 plus 4. Oh no. Plus 6. So 19.
It hits.
Eight points of damage.
Okay. 8 points on OBC. Okay. Anything else, Banner?
I am done.
Eldon with 7 on deck. That's giant on deck.
I'll stay in the tree and take another pop shot at Albert. Hey.
Okay. At this point, that owlbear is looking haggard.
Looking rough.
Yeah.
18.
That hits. Let's go. Can I put rage into a dart and just enrage this guy?
6.
Okay.
10 damage.
10 damage. Okay. Keeping track here. Actually, I better not be doing all that. I don't want you to know what's going on. Yeah, this owlbear is swooning, and not in a love way. Yes. So, anything else, Eldon?
Can I start to move down the tree after attacking? Or
Yeah, you haven't used your movement yet. What I will ask, at this point, I want an acrobatics check coming down.
yes.
Athletics going up. Acrobatics going down.
Right.
I'm technically kind of bleeding movement and action into it, so we're going to say this is kind of a bleeded action, bonus action movement.
24.
It's like you've been climbing this particular tree your entire life. Flashbacks to memory. And you know where every handhold, every nook, every cranny, and you get down the tree and you almost pat it thank you, old friend. As you, but yeah, you're on the ground now.
Okay.
But we're gonna say that's the extent of your.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do right now.
Okay. So it's gonna be 7 with Renvry on deck.
All right. Well, this owlbear,
It's one.
just wanted to climb a rock. We're both very pissed off at each other, so I'm just gonna do another
Okay,
attack.
go for it.
I forgot to add the damage to that last time. I get an additional D4.
I assumed you added it. Okay.
And you're blessed.
Yeah. And now you're blessed. Yeah.
Papa Felix gave you a little bless.
This thing's better.
If you hit,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
AC jumped up to 40. No.
19, and then I
This is an Avatar of the Green. No, yeah,
You're gonna just roll overkill? Alright.
19 plus 3, 22.
Yeah, so in any Final Fantasy game, if you do too much damage, it says overkill, and it just drops. If somebody wants to take off Owlbear A, it just slumps forward in defiance, but slumps forward and almost onto the bottom of your metalloid foot, one of them. Thank you.
Would he sort of catches his breath and he's just like, "Is this good proof?"
Good job. Yeah. Hey.
You turn around and you realize
There's two more. Hey, bud. Hey, stay angry. Hey, stay angry. We got two. We got more. Hey. Whistles over. Points over there. Round 2.
Cracks his neck a little bit, which is like a weird fleshy sound.
ASMR bot, man.
anything else. You still got your movement technically.
Yeah.
And a bonus action, I believe. And remember, you are technically a 2x2 because you're large right now.
Yeah.
Your pathing's a little weird.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. You would just be able to fit between those trees going that way. You can go around your friends without hurting them. Or your compatriots. I shouldn't say friends necessarily yet. Sponsored by Better Health. No, I'm just kidding. Make friends with Better Health.
Has many friends? Can he just step over them?
Climb it like a turnbuckle.
That would be difficult terrain. To not step on your smaller folked friend.
What about like that rock is 10 feet? That's like right in the middle there.
You can kind of like stand up on it if you really want to just.
Sort of, I'm sort of gonna like walk.
So remember, you're 14 feet tall.
Yeah.
And this 10-foot rock. So you are. I'll say with ease. You wouldn't have to roll on it, but you're able to get up on the rock if you want. You're Yao, king of the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of.
All these Disney references. So the wind blows the foliage so that behind you it looks like the trees are parting in splash patterns.
It's like, hey, 7 just wanted to be part of it.
You are now the big mermaid.
Yeah.
You're more kaiju, not a mermaid.
You're a Jaeger.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
There's a little guy inside there.
You're just 6 kobolds in a suit of armor.
We know it.
But yeah, I'm more gonna like look behind this rock because I got hit pretty hard last time. I want to kind of I want to sort of assess.
Yeah, if you just want to move between that tree and the rock, right right there. That's probably going to be the best. You can kind of move some of the tree out of the way to look between the two.
Gotcha.
But anything else, 7?
No, that's gonna be everything for me right now.
Renfrey with O'Darin on deck.
Well, Renfrey was actually going to go on top of that rock.
Nobody's on it.
I'm not on
And
it.
I'm still going to do that.
Give me an athletics check.
At least you can still see him over the rock.
Hey, it's a 10 boss.
I'll say that you're able to get up there. There's some scraping of the feet on the bottom, but we'll say that you feel this metalloid hand under your feet, giving support rather than on a tuchus.
Here you go.
You're having an Iron Giant moment. Like
Superman.
With the help of Sevens, Renfrey finishes loading her giant heavy crossbow. She gets into like a kind of like a kneeling position and takes 2 fingers and makes like a twirling motion, and as a bonus action moves the hex from Owlbear's dead body A to Owlbear C.
okay. Still strength.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to, in that kneeling position, go ahead and pull the trigger.
Is it like a Monster Hunter crossbow? Is that like a heavy bow?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like a Yu Yu Hakusho. Like,
That was
no,
what
I'm
I was imagining. It's just a
I want to make a
like a
warlock.
swamp wood
My warlock does an Eldritch Blast out of a finger
What was
gun.
that?
Oh, that's cool.
It's
Gave me a
24
nice
total.
roll.
I think you hit.
What was the base?
17. Yeah.
Nice.
And is that on C or on B?
On C, the one die
Okay.
cast.
And
also going
you
to-
are blessed as well, my son.
I didn't.
I don't need your blessing.
I'm also going to expend another Fury die and try to do a pushing attack.
Okay.
So it has to do with strength saving throw.
Which I'm at. Okay.
So that is going to be a total of. So that's going to be 14 total damage.
Okay. I can tell you that it failed. I can tell you that.
Okay. It gets pushed back 15 feet, just in this direction.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to go ahead, since you guys are over there, if you want to go ahead and move it, whatever direction you pushed it. We'll say that you pushed him into that little collection. He hit a trunk of a tree, or they hit a trunk of a tree.
Yeah. And
kind of wrapped around the base of it a little bit before it came back. And
I'm going to action search.
okay.
In the same
Sorry.
swift movement, I'm going to quickly reload another bolts.
Okay.
And trying again. I still have this. I didn't need it.
It's gonna hit. Yeah.
I got natural 18.
Yeah. From a distance, my disdain. It was seen.
So 9 total damage.
9. Now this is not a push or anything, correct? This is just a regular shot. Yeah. Okay.
Just follow up.
Okay.
If I push it, I don't think it would go anywhere, right?
It's more or less like pushing something up against a wall or whatever. It would be more like a bear fight, yeah, when they're just pushing each other against
And
something.
after that second bolt, Renfrey finally exhales. Yeah.
Oh, Darren. Oh, Darren is up with the OBs on deck.
I'm going to take a step over so that I have a clear shot from this owlbear. And I'm going to reach under my cloak and I'm going to pull out my pepper box.
Okay.
And I'm going to run my hand across it so that the runes on the barrel light up. And I'm going to cast Deadness Slash
Okay.
at first level.
Okay.
So
Just a reminder for people listening that a lot of our characters are working with some homebrew things that you may have heard of, maybe you haven't. But yeah, Deadness Slash is one of those spells.
Homebrew always mix things up and do that. I love it.
22
I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to chuckle out loud. Yes, you had. As I see my hopes and dreams of session 1.
3 more owlbears show up, I swear.
An owlbear god appears.
He's got a quiver,
Actually, a bear.
1d10.
It's man bear pig.
It's man bear pig. Max damage?
Massive
No,
amount.
a massive
Oh, a
amount.
massive amount of damage.
You have to pull out.
How much you empowering it?
Damage. This thing's probably dead.
31.
Whoa! Wait, is that B or
Well, you
was
can
that-
only do 5, 10, or 15.
Was that B or C?
I did not empower it.
You did
So
not
it's
empower it?
3d8.
Oh, yep. Yeah, it is. In this situation,
Was
it is.
Was that B or C that you targeted?
That was B.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, if that's C,
Okay.
it's also X. I was like,
What are you
oh,
doing?
No.
Plus my shot.
Okay.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna look back at 7 because 7 took some damage. And I'm gonna reach out my hand again in that same.
Oh, you cast that at 2nd level, didn't you?
No, that was
You
it.
cast it at 1? Okay.
3d8.
Oh boy, that's a spicy meatball.
And when the bullet hits the owlbear,
Oh.
white mist is gonna pour out of where the bullet hit, and it's gonna form a tentacle, and it's gonna slap it.
Tendril, tentacle. He says tentacle.
Listen, it's cool.
It's a
I was like, oh no. We're going to Hulu. Oh no.
Let's give you another d6 of temporary hit points. That's 3.
So how much
Puts a
damage
little
total did
Band-Aid.
it do?
Yeah. 31.
Got a big slash across his
31
chest,
to
one little
the.
Band-Aid.
In one hit, you can see that it's taking some damage. It's still fighting, but it just took a massive amount of damage and is not pleased.
Yeah.
Layer action? No, I'm just kidding.
no.
The trees fold in like the Harry Potter maze.
Treants. They're all treants. No.
Oh, I thought about that. I was like, man, not session 1. Treants is not happening. Alrighty. Is anything else, though, Darren?
That's it.
7 looks horrified.
I think I've done enough.
The monstrosity that 7 is now was just over.
He's our own out there.
Yeah.
I
So
set the
the
bar and everybody else reached it.
the owlbear is going to attack Banner again. Both attacks. So the beak is going to miss this time, but the claws. Oh, hold on. Next. There's a 13 hit. Okay. So it goes to bite at you, like the head extends and goes to bite, misses, so it tries to follow up with the claw, nothing. Owlbear C is is mad, but seeing that you're on a rock, Renfrey is gonna move towards Banner. They could move. Essentially, it would be 30 as a large creature.
This one?
So yeah. So. And then scoot them. Yeah. Just about 5 feet outside of Banner. Yeah, that's about as far as I can get. Yep. About right there will work. Let me see. I don't think. And actually, it's going to take a double action of movement and go behind Banner.
Oh no. That's not a good
Yeah, right there. Right there. That's its turn, though. They're both done. So, Felix with Banner on deck.
Okay.
So this owlbear just literally just walks up, looks at you, and then just turns around and looks at Banner.
Oh, I don't particularly like that.
You're at the non-business end of an owlbear right now.
What is?
I guess you could call it business, depending on.
So okay. Oh man, that's gonna hit you. That's man.
Did you just
Why can you
or something on them?
Why can't you give us an easy?
Wait. You said how tall are they?
They're about, we're about 7 feet tall because on average they're 6 to 8 feet tall for a young adult.
Never mind.
And that's where we're kind of sitting on these guys.
Never mind. Okay. Well,
I know.
If he's gonna be right there, I am going to. I don't want to. He's not focused on me.
Oh no. He's turned around. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so
that's
at this point,
so
because that owlbear saw the damage that was done to its friend, and they're just going to start.
So you're saying I wouldn't have an opportunity attack against him?
You would.
If that's what I was waiting to hear. Okay. Well, this kind of changed things. This kind of changes things just a little bit then. So, son of a bee sting. So he's still brandishing his crossbow, but with his other hand, he is going to hit it on his side, and it's going to light up, like the brightness is going to glow a little bit more, and he's going to walk up and just put his hand on his back, I guess, and he's going to do a shocking grasp.
Okay. Okay.
Are you petting the owlbear?
16 plus 7.
Boy.
So that's going to hit. 1d8.
You realize where you're touching that owlbear when you do this, right?
Well, I asked you.
Not
sneak attack? Not advantage?
No, it's not sneak attack. Well, technically the owlbear is being flanked. But, I mean, you hit.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I could go for a d20, or roll
Yeah.
20. It's okay.
Yeah.
So I do... It's not a lot. It's only 2 lightning damage, but
Okay.
he can't take reactions against me,
Okay.
and I'm going to bug out.
Okay.
Bug out.
So how much? Yes. 10, 15, and I can move through him like he's nothing because he's way bigger than me. 20.
Tiamat appears. Not kidding.
I'm going to chill back there, so shock him in his back and then kind of sneak away.
You basically gave a soft massage with a little jolt.
Hey, gotta start small.
You essentially found some part of carpet on the forest floor, went and ran off.
He got his Christmas.
It's my little taser. It's in tight. It's a tight situation. I didn't know I was gonna go up against this. He makes note of it.
Anything else, Felix?
Nah, that's my turn.
Banner with Eldon on deck.
All right.
hiding
I'm going
behind
to
you.
attack the same owlbear 2.
You did say
Okay.
I did my best. I didn't see Nate in there.
And you're still +1, correct? With your weapon?
I
Good.
did say Nate.
I mean,
Good.
actually, same as before. That's a 19.
That's gonna hit. Same as before.
And that is a 6 this time, plus 4, 10.
95.
And I will use bonus action again.
Never heard of
Completely attack to swing and hit him again.
Okay. He's looking a bit haggard now.
Oh, well, that's not going to be it.
What?
That's a 2, so no.
Nope. Unfortunately, nothing the second time. And was very dexterous for about a moment and eluded you. Anything else? Nope. Eldon with 7 on deck.
Is owlbear see within 5 feet?
No, you would need to move up.
No, if him.
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Yes.
So I'm going to...
And C still can't take reactions until
Yeah.
its next turn.
Correct.
So it's still kind of pleasant tingling from that.
10, 15, 20. With my rapier, sneak attack.
Sneaky boy. Much sneak.
Yeah, I'll say the sneak attack on there. Because technically it's... Yeah, we'll say 130.
Okay, this is
I'll let it.
Anyone 5 feet.
That's fine.
So okay.
So you care.
I was just thinking more of the aspect that this is the creature knows it's in combat, and at one point looked in your general direction, but I don't think he would have seen you in the tree or down when you dropped because you were behind sort of another tree. So that's why I'm saying the sneak attack.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
So right here. So 21.
21 damage or to hit?
21 to hit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
as much.
I'm like, what?
1d8.
Just wait till we get this rogue up to higher levels. You'll be shanking gods.
10 damage of the rapier, and then sneak attack does 2d6.
For how much I love sneak attack.
8 additional damage from the sneak attack.
Sneak attack.
Yeah.
So you come up and you don't know the anatomy of an owlbear.
No.
No, but you just know there's an ab. But there's a butt. I caught myself.
There's an ab.
There's an ab. One big ab. There's a butt. And you come in on the side, and it's a rapier. It's not a slashing weapon per se. It's more of a piercing. It's a poke. You somehow are able to get between its ribs, and you're able to puncture its heart, and the owlbear's dead.
Whoa.
You have to remember there was a massive amount of damage that was done beforehand.
Oh, that's right.
So,
All that cardiac damage from my lightning attack.
well,
But you still get the credit for
Yeah.
okay. Anything else, Eldon?
Thank you for that.
No, that's it.
Okay, 7 with Renvry on deck.
We can make a sweet owlbear cloak for 7. We have enough owl.
Bro,
Yeah.
you can just put it on. Yes,
Actually, we have enough.
disguise kit, and just have him walk around like an owlbear.
I'm a leather worker.
Disguise kit. Let's do this. Cosplay.
I can make 7.
What do you want to do, 7?
How bad
We're going full
is
monster
the
hunter.
last owlbear?
So we could work together.
One owlbear shoulder.
Pretty hurt.
Pretty hurt.
Pretty hurt.
Big 7 spectaculars.
Wasn't swaying like old boy. Yours was, but pretty hurt.
Okay.
Like you can see, like the buildup between burns and cuts are have amassed.
Okay.
Can I like squeeze under the tree that I'm next to, or like?
Well,
pick
no,
up the
Ren's
tree?
on top of it.
Okay.
I'm just, these are like redwood, so it's about that big around.
Okay.
But I mean, there's still branches scaling up from about your regular 7-foot height and up.
Yeah.
You can shrink. And
I don't know if I can get over to that.
if you want to let yourself fall out of rage,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
I think I am gonna fall out of rage.
Unless you can get over there.
Yeah. Can't make it. So you see him shrink back to normal size, and normal size is still pretty big, but
Yeah, no, he's still a giant.
I almost look like a transformer.
You're tiny Mario now.
No, it's
Yeah.
Mario.
Yeah.
It's it, yeah.
Oh man. Please put us in the.
All right, so
what's that about?
you moving anywhere?
Good, remember, one of them doesn't have a date.
I'm probably moving.
So sunshine.
I can't move close enough to really attack, but I'll probably move like right behind Banner to sort of like next round.
What's your movement? 5,
30.
10, 15, 20. Yeah, you can get behind him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Emotional support.
Like right there.
Sorry, point of order. Would your hex have moved?
Mine?
Yeah,
I can't move until it's my turn.
that's right.
So I'm sort of going there and putting a hand on the shoulder and just like I got you.
One giant replaced with another. Good God.
Anything else?
Nope, that's all I can do.
Renvry with Odarin on deck.
Now, with the waving motion of Renvry's hands, the hex moves over to Owlbear B. And just another deep breath in. Try again. Bless the luck.
Sense of impending doom. Do it.
Thank you. That blesses the luck. I got a 15 total.
That'll hit.
I had 17 damage total.
how does Renvery finish the beast in front of him?
Renvery is a hunter of sorts. Maybe not usually of animals.
Okay.
Usually of people. And with just a slow exhale of the breath, Renvery knows that this last shot is going to just end this owlbear's life. And in a calm, collected composure, the bolt just leaves the absurdly huge crossbow and just punctures this large gaping hole in the owlbear's chest cavity, similar to how Eldon just went for the heart of the other owlbear.
Jesus. So you have strewn about this glen, these game trail hub, 3 bodies of these owlbears. Can I get a perception check out of Banner? And actually, Renvery, you'd be close enough to.
We have blessing.
Perception, just perception.
But we have blessing.
Yeah.
At this point, you're out of combat.
Out of combat? Okay.
Out of combat. Okay. I just need perception.
Yeah, because I would say it's only for saving throws outside of combat.
6 total.
Okay.
14.
So you hear very faintly this like screech, a very diminished, small, kind of in these woods, kind of to your southeast.
All right. Banner is going to head over in that direction.
Okay, I'll take the owl bear away. We'll say for the sake of this. So you get over there and
Say little girl.
you. Hello. You just hear one like, and you see some of the broken boxes around and some cloths and everything, and you see an owlbear cub kind of in the midst of this. More or less, you came across a den for a family.
Ask for it, yeah.
But what we'll say is that this kind of path going away from this little area, you see more boxes kind of broken up and more like them going off towards that direction. And you see just because now we're in theater of the mind, a stone that isn't matching that of the quarry around here. As this, you can see, it looks really no different than any other rock weeds see around here. This one is more almost looking like a sandstone or a lye-based stone. It's more sand-colored and everything. It looks decrepit, but it looks very much out of place compared to everything else in this forest thus far.
All right.
What would you like to do?
I'll call to the others and say, come over. We have one more owlbear to deal with.
Jeez. I'm like looking around. I'm looking up, looking for it, and I'm just like,
no. I'm not a monster.
I was looking up, and
Come.
Yeah, right now goes strolling up with their
Yeah, I was saying.
Actually, he'll probably have picked it up or have like tentatively reached a hand toward it to see if it bites him, or
And
if it just kind of.
It'll try to snap, but like this is a fresh cub. Like I would probably equate maybe to. I apologize. I'm going to use this. Maybe like width-wise about this. Like this is a small creature.
Yeah.
So like it's more or less getting nipped by a cat. Like the cat, it's like when you're playing with it too much and it like playfully, like it's trying with all its might to pierce.
It wants
but
to
it's
eat you, but it just can't.
But I'm going to be cooing at it.
And at one point it's just, and it's just like kind of like gently the nomming stops, and then it does turn into more of that like playful bit. But that's more or less what this thing does. It's now feeling there's no danger.
So when the rest show up, I will be holding it out. This is the owlbear we need to deal with.
Now that being said, though, you have experience fighting with a creature, and some of you haven't avoided getting some of its blood or anything on that. It is sniffing on you and rubbing up onto those spots. There's some sort of familiarity with that scent.
What's I mean, obviously, like seeing the situation. Sure. What's in the boxes? Like, or is there stuff in the boxes? Stuff in the crates?
What's in the box?
Because I don't want to be near that thing. Because that thing's still probably like pretty big to me. I would rather. I see the boxes and I'm trying to
So
scan that stuff.
there, it does look like that from what was broken, they made a quasi nest / den out of what they could. Some of it's just piled up wood. There is some various cots and
General
whatnot.
goods
Some ropes. Yeah, I mean, there might have been at some point something that were in vials or potions, but they've been smashed or anything like that.
No worries.
There are some, like, I would say some ingots or some ores for, like, metallurgy and whatnot. But yeah, that's kind of what you're seeing. And actually, if you want to dig a little bit deeper, give me an investigation check.
Nothing more. A 9.
I'll give you advantage in a second, if that's okay.
So yeah, O'Darren's gonna be like, hey, go look over there.
16.
Okay. So
Thank you for that.
we'll say that amongst this crate of what looks like vials, most of it was shattered, but it looks like it was like that hay straw for it to sit on. We'll say that within that you found like a vial. And it's got like a silvery white fluid inside of it. It's being held with like a cork top.
Vial. Alright. Cool.
I think we can maybe use the child as proof of.
I was going to present this as the thing that we all do.
It's a fountain. Yes.
Did he tell us about the door?
That was
Or
a
the
joke.
event of the door? But the,
He is not yet.
I don't think you should be raising it.
I, for one.
Easier, please.
If we leave it here, it will die.
Well, wait, quick.
Well, I don't want to leave it here.
Does anyone here have
So I'm
experience
taking it with us.
But like, I
with
don't want to give it
animals?
to the bounty person.
No, we're not giving it away.
Well, yeah, but like we don't know what they're going to do with the proof.
What's his name? Are you going to start playing Pioneer again, Eric?
Don't, baby. I don't even care. I mean, after this, we're done. I don't care. Just
Hey,
do whatever you want.
what?
Sure.
7, we're going to take Beakley and we're going to have fun with him.
Beakley.
It's named. It's done. It's too late. Beakley. Sorry.
Beakley.
Beakley. Yes.
Lee for sure.
I'm gonna take my pepper box and put it
Beakley.
back
He
in
is
my
a
holster,
friend.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna switch the beak on Nevermore. And just
Taking care of him.
So this sandstone rock here.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, we'll do you point it out to them?
Yeah.
They take a peek, and right around that path, like I'd said earlier, just more or less on the other side of that big rock at the edge of the map, there is more or less a I don't want to say a true column, but you see equivalent to like one of the stones just from Stonehenge would be like the closest equivalent in this more like tan beige sandstone.
Okay.
Is there anything in the area that's even remotely like it?
Where you guys are at with all those trees around you, and nothing that you've seen thus far.
Okay.
So, as you pass by there, you start seeing more of these. Some of them broken and fallen over. Some of them straight fallen over. Can I get a perception check out of you?
These were just the kids. The parents are still out there.
An ancient owl.
Don't even.
nope.
Fair enough.
That's a 6.
You're all good. These are nice stones. I'm just kidding. No, with some of the research that you've done, aside from what's been in the book, there are. This looks somewhat like some stones used in construction for some other cities that you've kind of passed by, not necessarily into, but you've passed by. But as you like I said, as you continue on, you see more of those sandstones, almost looking like they're creating like what would be little, maybe once in its heyday, markers for like passage towards some sort of city or a town. But I want to take a break real quick. Let's go ahead and take like if that's okay.
Yeah.
And yeah. For today's Springfield One Shot, we want to point out our host for today's game, 217 Cards, Comics, and Games. This local comic, collectibles, and card store has everything you need for whatever fandom you find yourself into. Be it from Magic the Gathering to Pokemon, Warhammer, Funkos, comics, or other collectibles, you are sure to find something for yourself or even that gift for a family or friend member. They're open every day of the week barring major holidays, and you can visit their store on Stevenson Drive here in Springfield or online at 217comics.com. Thank you 217 Cards, Comics, and Games for being our host today and for strengthening our community. All right, let's come on back, everybody.
Yeah.
Pop some fingernails in there.
Okay.
Let's kill some more
you and
dungeons
fingernails.
and loot some more dragons.
So, but yeah, you kind of see these kind of semi-regular standing sandstones leading a little bit further away. What do you guys want to do?
Well, before we go too much farther, 7, you require some healing.
So we're doing a cat nap or
Mending their, I don't know necessarily what works on me.
I would assume regular healing spells.
For the just for a point of order, mending would not.
Those sounds like I
it
would've
needs to
gotten
be
that.
healing.
Say I would have gotten mending if that
Otherwise,
was the case.
that'd be like freaking cantrip.
Short rest I can
Cantrip. Cantrip. He's good, guys. We're good to go.
Yeah, he's solid.
I just hit him with 13 cantrips in a row.
Well. So 7 to begin.
I like that.
You want more?
If you have more, I'll take it.
You also have 3 temporary hit points so.
Will those still last?
11?
Until.
Oh yeah, I'm back to full.
Oh, really?
Alrighty.
So are we ready to go back into town?
Well, what about the stone?
I'm curious about the stone.
Personally, am rather interested in
Guys.
Well, there are stones, yes. Leading off.
Yeah, and I say they're regular. They're pretty regular, about 15, 20 feet. There's another set, whether they're both fully upright or cracked and fallen over, but
The
semi-regular.
fact that it's a pattern.
Yeah, it is a pattern.
Can I walk up to any that are in good shape and see if there's any writing on them?
That may
Go
be
ahead, take a
one.
look. Give me.
Yeah,
Actually,
no,
there you do see markings on there, but what languages do you speak?
I think just common. I don't know if I picked them.
Can't read it.
I don't see where the parchment says
Dwarven.
stone.
Was that?
Do we see any dwarven runes?
Opportunity.
You don't see dwarven, but you see dwarven aspects of it,
I do tell you. 'cause I
as
see
well as
books.
anyone else taking a look.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What do you speak?
Goblin and halfling and common.
Goblin, halfling, and common.
Mhm.
Common. It's almost like there's a blending, a marriage between those dwarven. There's you don't y'all don't speak elf, but this looks very pretty. Elves write
calligraphy
pretty,
is
speak
very-
pretty.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like knowing cursive is cursive. You may not be able to read the cursive, but you know it's cursive. It's kind of like that. It's almost like a marriage of all of these. And even though you can't necessarily read it, some of those characters are in the book. They're not characters that you've been able to read thus far, but some of them are there.
Darren's gonna sit down,
Sure.
immediately take out a spell book, and start casting comprehend languages as a ritual.
Okay, cool. So you can read and write all languages, right?
Yeah, in 10 minutes.
Okay.
So during that time, before I forget, I am going to go retrieve my spear.
That's a good call.
Just so we don't forget. Did we actually look through the rest of the box?
He gleaned through and he found a vial, but everything else, I mean,
show it.
there's some
Okay.
rope and everything, but
I'll take the robe and just put it back on.
For retrieving both corals, would that be like a survival check, or is that kind of a clean thing? Because I don't think I
give me survival just to make sure it is clean enough.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
That,
Because again, the equivalent being you can clean a fish, you can descale a fish, and there's descaling a fish properly.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're gonna
depends on how it's pulled out.
While Ren's doing that, I'm gonna be like, hey, I think we can do some modifications.
16.
Yeah, you're able to do it pretty cleanly. So it takes 1 hour for your ritual casting.
So I was like,
1 hour. So you are obviously touching it.
Take out
There's been
my book at the same time.
well, and here's the thing: you've had this spell, you've attempted this before. For whatever reason, there is almost a haze that comes over these symbols as you are attempting to read, it's almost like, again, this composite collection of these characters is almost too much for even this spell to break through. You know that this is script that has been in ruins, that has been used kind of like, you know how in modern days we appropriate symbols that we really have no knowledge about that are from ancient civilizations, ancient cultures. So you've seen similar symbols to these around, but for whatever reason, this script that's in your book, and now you have an actual link, this spell can't pierce through that magical veil in order to scramble it enough for you to read.
What are we seeing while he's doing this?
He's touching a stone or touching the book, either one.
I'm going back and forth.
That's why I want to make sense, because he pulled out another. He had a book, then he pulled out another book. I just didn't know if we're like seeing some leaves and stuff or something.
It's more or less what's going on.
It's more like
I'm just trying to get a bead on it. Okay.
Which you speak? No, I'm just kidding.
Say.
Fluently. It's reminiscent of Morse code. But and that's been kind of one of those ongoing mysteries for you. The reason why you're searching for more of these is to find, you don't know, maybe you just need that cipher, or if you need something to pierce that kind of magical
dragon wall
separation, or what.
Before I do what I'm about to do.
But for what the spells that you are able to read,
It's like stand back.
read though in the languages you can read as they appear.
Okay.
Because this is not a book that you write in. This is a book that was written. But the other part is you don't know if that person wrote in this book now.
Okay.
Based on your travels as you're seeing more.
So I'll talk to you about the stuff
Yep.
that I could read. Probably.
Yep, that's perfectly fine. Because there were still little nuances about your book. I was like, I don't know if we need to give this yet. So we can talk more. But yeah, for whatever reason, you can't read it.
So, as I'm kind of looking back and forth, you guys see that there's a bunch of bandages on my right arm.
Oh.
My right arm is just bandaged.
Okay.
And I'm not even going to listen to what you just said. I'm literally just going to walk. I'm going to follow these sandstones.
Yeah, I was about to
with
say,
my book, and I'm
I don't know
just
how
gonna
much
go.
a passive 17 investigation works, but I want to try and see, like, I want to figure these out, like, at least or as best as I can.
You're seeing essentially what everyone else is seeing. You both have comprehended now, that, especially after looking, that this is written in a form.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it is written cuneiformly, where it's up and down. Others, whether it's left or right or left, you're not quite sure.
Yeah.
But there's even hints like of written diagonal, like the original abracadabra is, and if you write it in a triangle, it reads abracadabra in all three directions. It's almost kind of like that, where the writing can flow in almost any direction.
It's like almost we have like a cipher or something.
Essentially.
It's like
Yeah.
an enigma kind of thing.
And you kind of get that, you try your best, but there's a source of frustration because this is first real lead that you're like, trying to like, you see some sort of frustration.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to notice, but if you guys want to pursue those, or not pursue, follow them. So when you found this clearing, within the excitement of battle and everything, as this was a clearing, the fog still persisted, but it wasn't. It was, again, just like ankle height or whatever. But as you're following into these sandstones, you're getting deeper into the woods. The fog is becoming definitely more oppressive, to the point where maybe to the point it becomes 10 feet ahead, 15 feet ahead you can see. But it becomes silent again. No birds, no nothing. Just dead silence.
What's Beakley doing?
Beakley has gotten completely quiet, but not whimpering or anything, just quiet.
He's our canary.
Oh yeah.
Our lovable cute.
Eventually, you come to this threshold where you do see more what looks like walls kind of going into different directions, still decayed, decrepit, falling apart. A shell of what former stead might have been here. but it kind of looks like it's going for. It's kind of like you're seeing the remnants of like if you were to see like a partial wall that's even been in the U.S. for like hundreds of years, you'll see parts of it, and you can kind of follow where it was. That's more or less what you're seeing. Do you guys want to continue in?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm interested.
So you do see some of those pieces of the boxes still, but you've also, at one point, stopped seeing what the game trail was, and it was just overgrowth going through all these little. I'm hesitant to say archways because they're not necessarily archways,
just ruins, just like
markers or whatever. But what were you gonna ask?
I was going to say, is 7 like being? Yeah. Any memories coming up looking at this?
No, there is not.
I'm going to
No.
continue looking for those same.
I think if we still see boxes, I'm gonna tell Ren this is why, because those owlbears might not be what happened.
So,
We're still seeing
and you're
that
seeing
stuff.
some of those same markings every now and again. Some of them more prevalently, some not. Definitely what would have been, I guess, the main entrance, and this main entrance being the width from the end of this table to the end of that table. Pretty sizable. You do see those larger characters carved on the inside, the outside, and as you go through on the other side. But yeah, you see some of those boxes every now and again, but it's more sparse here. It's not like it was back at the owl bear den. But at one point you hear, not with your ears,
Whoa.
why do you trespass upon my land?
So Banner will kind of reach a hand over to Odara and try to stop. Do you?
No,
All of you hear this too.
I'll stop because until this moment, I've essentially just been completely zoned into these symbols and these pillars, and I have to know. And I've completely blocked everything out. So when you touch my shoulder, I get snapped back to reality.
Okay.
I've not had visitors in so very long. Forgive me if my pronunciation of your tongue sounds foreign. And there it is. It's very minutely broken up, but it sounds really no different. And you understand it in your main language, whatever that may be: human, elven, or halfling.
Yeah.
Ren speaks in Orcish back. Who are you?
Do we hear him speak it? Are you speaking or?
You saying out loud?
I'm singing out loud because
Okay. All right.
But we hear Orcish.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So you don't know what she's saying.
Cool.
Do I still have comprehension to do that?
And here's as a response, everyone. It has been so long since one has spoken it, and in my tongue you would struggle to pronounce it. The closest would be Lendrys, the quiet. Lehendrys. Lehendrys. Lendrys.
Feverishly taking notes.
Yeah.
What is this place?
The memory of mortals is short indeed, to have forgotten the elven city of Erith Koli. Erith.
I'm gonna ask for spelling in this prepared.
That's I may do that too. Yeah, if you ask it there, that's fine. But ERITH hyphen KOLI. Erith Koli. I have watched since the world weathered and decayed. As the green returned and time claimed the city, I in turn claimed it for my own.
Well, we don't mean to trespass. We were just following our friend in here. We don't mean any harm or any trouble.
Just scapegoated there. We're following that guy.
No, it's for
I get
2
you, I get
hours
you.
now, so I think you know what you're getting
I
with it.
stand silently pointing at Olaran. No.
Still in Orcish, Renfrey will say, "There don't be many magical women like you."
We'll be on our way. Leave us alone.
We don't understand that, do we?
No.
Ah, beans. He does.
He does.
I saw comprehensive language of that. What? What?
How to break a wizard's brain.
Do you know what's in my book?
I know not in what tongue you speak, but if you wish to speak face to face, answer this correctly, and I will reveal myself. Get ready, here it comes. I become like a burden, but I weigh nothing. Though faced against me, even the strongest of knees are buckling. I can take your life, and for others mere moments, though the longer passage of time is not a fair omen. I make men sweat, I revel as they toil. Like the crossing of blades, my words are my foil. My answer is myself. What am I?
Beans.
I become like a burden, but I weigh nothing. Though faced against me, even the strongest knees are buckling. I can take your life, and for others mere moments, though the longer passage of time is not a fair omen. I can make men sweat, I revel as they toil. Like the crossing of blades, my words are my foil. My answer is myself. What am I? Let's see if y'all with that intelligence really have that. No, just kidding. Or is it wisdom? Oh no, I did it again. The table, it's broken. Oh no. Yeah. Does that Google Translate?
That's comprehend.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that
yeah.
what goggle is.
Google. Google. It's part of the Dothraki horde that exists in Westeros.
I did not get close to that because I don't write that fast.
I mean, hell, if somebody wants to, because I have it, I'm trying to figure out how to cover my shit.
Highlight it.
Do you? Can I
highlight
just do
it,
a
copy
bottom
it,
of your sticky note?
I was gonna say if you highlight and copy
you
it,
don't
and then
need it?
just paste it on the Discord.
Yes. And then I can copy and paste it onto a riddle solver.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Do you need another sticky note?
Yeah, it's just thin enough, and I have the contrast up high enough. Thank you. Okay, if somebody doesn't peek.
7 and just gonna like not understand that like we're trying to like.
He just mentally
solve the
just
riddle.
zones
It's
out.
just like,
That works too.
my answer is myself. What am I? Just like you said you were Atlantis. Is that not
Why don't you
correct?
scoot over a little bit, Andy? So
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
yeah, I can hold it.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you got a Pikachu?
Yeah. Let's see here. And then Newsies. Sticker.
In the world will know. We all look at screens until we find out what the words they really mean. Do you like that? Yeah, that was
Yeah,
on the fly.
that's good.
Did you come up with it on that?
On the fly.
Wow.
Thinking guilt or death.
That's what I was thinking. It's like guilt thou.
Oh, sorry. He's
Yeah,
still
you're fine. You
looking.
can take. Oh.
Oh no! What I done?
No, that's for the French thing.
Guilt thou.
I ruined it.
Soiled it.
Experience, and then we level up.
I love seeing the creative process. I was like, I need to make something that's enough to stump a DM, but not so hard that it can't be solved.
Yeah.
And so I ran this across Rachel, and it took her like 5-10 minutes. But I figured with all of y'all, you should be able to.
Emotion and
What sort of emotion?
I was thinking sort of like experience.
Like understanding.
Experience, trauma.
Oh.
This is all just one giant therapy session designed for you, Will.
yeah.
Just taking notes on how to properly.
Exactly.
Out of character, I feel like it's
I think the real question is not.
Renfrey does not care. We're magical with it.
I think the real question is not who are you, but who do you want to be.
Ooh. Some watery tart is throwing out scimitars to people. Is that a system for which to base your government?
Do we get
That was
simple
one.
guesses, or is it just like one strike rate?
But that, yeah, I say that's kind of the last part where it doesn't fit.
What are you thinking?
Well, we were thinking fear, could be worry, but fear. But the last part, like rebel, is they join.
My dad does puns too much, so
I will let you know there are 2 possible answers.
Oh goodness! Did you hear us? And we were like, yeah, that
One
works too.
of those answers has been said.
Oh, beans.
Said a lot of answers.
That's the only clue I'm going to give to
So we
you.
also said guilt. And guilt can be a burden.
Myself.
Emotion.
That's not even
Y'all threw out a bunch of different words as the issue.
We also said myself.
That's creative. I didn't even think about that.
Beans,
I've
too.
done a puzzle that way too.
That's smart. I like
Because
that.
everyone worries too much. Well, that's
Yeah. Oh, those are just a bunch of words I said.
It's literally yeah.
It's literally, I just.
The answer
Should
is
you guess the
myself.
other right word, I'll tell you. If you guess one right word, I'll tell you the other one after it. But
You are a riddle.
correct.
Oh.
That's the main answer. But
What was the other one?
it was worry.
Oh, okay.
Uh, so from the mists, from the ruins, you see 2 gleaming yellow eyes, and you all tense as they approach. You know, you're kind of fearing the worst. And then the little girl walks forward, and she speaks. Her mouth moves, but the words aren't coming from her lips, and it seeps back into your mind. Well done. I must admit, others would not have lasted this long here, let alone take one step into the city. But you piqued my interest, and that interest seems well placed. You all have seemingly stumbled into something you were not expecting. And she looks over at both Felix and O'Darren. Or have you?
What happened here?
This was once the great city of Erithquai. Elves made its settlement. The music was lively. The people too. But then the corruption, the cancer, then the ash wars. And then it became my home. Lost to the dust. And as it all regrew, no one was left here, so it became my home.
Does this look familiar to me at all?
What's your is your name actually Riddle or?
There are things that I may know that can help you. But why should I give this information to those I barely know? How do I know it wouldn't be abused or twisted for some ill-gotten gain? I have watched immortals from nearly millennia, and I have seen nothing to prove otherwise. Yes.
In Orcish, Renfrey says, "Where is he? Where's Silas?"
It's good when it works.
In Orcish, in your head, Who is Silas?
Yeah, I know. For one who knows so much, you know barely anything else. It's not
To everyone, I did not claim that I know all. I know much. If you want all, talk to a god.
That is true.
If you want sense, speak to those in the world who don't lift themselves above it.
Well, how would we get to know each other better?
Offer a service for a service.
Fair enough. See,
If you-
economy, like we were talking about. This is economy.
Economy.
My apologies, but this is economy. He's still learning.
This is more familiar. Yes.
I don't trade in trinkets or toys. But if that's what you wish to have, is your end of the bargain, I can accommodate. But if you were to complete the task for me, I would gladly share with you whatever riches I hold, physical or otherwise.
What task would you have us do?
To the south, there is a city called Zragos. My mate had once taken up residence there, much as I had here. If you can return to me with some sort of news, I would be indebted to you.
Okay. Is there something that we can do to let your partner know that we're, on a trip from you? Like,
My
I guess
name is your pass.
Okay, that's good. I get that.
No one has visited me, and
The performance are cool. It's just
who is the High King?
That's a great question.
the numbers are kind of like.
So you two would have come through the major port tab with the airships, Aurora,
Okay.
and you would know who his name is everywhere, but it is currently King Theodosius Menak Savea, the Promised, and it is the 77th year of his reign.
Okay. What you just said, I'm gonna have to memorize that. But I don't know if that name rings a bell.
Well, then I've been around as long as, if not before, the first High King.
I know you were talking about a lot before that, so that definitely makes sense. Okay, well,
And you guys have gathered, it's been 388 years since since the reign of the first king started.
yeah. Okay.
For those of you that live in Egranesia.
Well, so what we can do is go and see her partner. Do you? Never mind, because she hasn't seen him, her partner in a while.
Can you give us some information about your partner?
His name is Yivbarus. YVBURYSS. Yivbarus. YVBURYSS. Super Soldier. Super Saiyan.
All right.
It's a Super Saiyan. That's
So we go there, and we mention your name, and basically just check and see what he's doing. And, I mean, that's it. You don't want us to try and get him back, or just
We
make sure
cannot.
make sure he's doing.
We cannot.
Okay. So get an update, and then
We are destined to be parted.
that's depressing.
I see like a weird, not a frown, and not a grimace. It's almost like a flashing of memories happens almost instantaneous. One may be sad, one may be happy,
Yeah.
and doesn't know which emotion, if anything, to show. But yeah, those green eyes that had turned yellow through this mist are now still vibrant green. It was more or less like a fog lights when she was coming through. But
So I'm just making sure we're talking to the little girl, or
it's a little girl.
Okay, I didn't know if we were addressing.
It's a little girl.
Okay, cool.
How far south is this partner?
And that's Sirocco's.
Zaragos. Zragos, if it helps.
ZRA.
Zragos. Zaragos.
Z. Oh man, I was so close. Town.
It is to the south. Nearly 1 week as a horse runs.
Hopefully our horses run maybe faster.
Nearly to the south, to the southwest of the bay.
Okay.
If the bay is still there.
That's a good point.
I am up for this challenge.
Yeah, of course. I would say, especially, we have to come back anyways through.
I'm intrigued.
And as I said, I can provide for much. And there's like a gesturing of her hand, and like you see the fog separate for a moment, and it's not like a mountain of gold or anything, but there is supplies. You do see glistening, the glints from like rubies, from other precious stones and jewels. You see some weapons in there, and be like, I can provide some. And moves her hand back and just almost like, man, two curtains of fog just went
Nice.
back together. But again, I do not know much of you. I hope I can trust you.
You know what's not
As you can
moving?
come to trust me, for I know much.
Can we insight check?
Sure. What are you trying to insight?
Don't know that I trust.
I think
what's
Ren keeps
happening.
putting the "don't trust magic lady" in my head. And I don't like that.
She's a man.
You doing insight? Go ahead and do it.
I feel like Ren would have a natural proclivity.
Sure. Sure. Go for it.
What was that?
Please tell me that was a 1.
It was 5 total.
Oh,
What was in that roll?
12.
Hey,
It's more of a confirming a suspicion. There's more to this girl, obviously, but there's nothing that you could really put a finger on it. Yeah, 12, unfortunately. Yeah, that's really all you can glean. But it's just a confirmation of a suspicion that there's more, but unfortunately you can't discern if that's benevolent or malevolent. So,
when he rolled that 2, I'm going to take a snapshot of that 2 with my anchor, because I can do it on the ability roll.
okay.
So you save a moment in time.
Saving a 2?
So
Okay,
I'm
good.
saving a 2.
Okay.
So he just kind of checks.
The
He
moment-
makes a little noise and he checks it, and he like looks like he's looking at something, and he puts it right back.
Well, the moment you do that, though, eyes flash yellow again, be like, peculiar.
I honestly did not mind any of the voices.
Yeah.
You're interesting.
No, my name's Felix.
I thought he was.
It's a pleasure.
I'm Landris.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I like the actor, but like I kind of don't know what.
Fluff my jacket over it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've also been rude this entire time.
But you know,
And there's this, like, she holds out the hand, there's this emanation. If you were harmed, you are healed back to full completely.
Look at that.
Like, as a token of my goodwill.
Excellent. Well,
That and you're still alive.
we are very, very happy for that. I mean, as long as it's not like some crazy way to get out, I mean, we can start heading back and get going on it. I mean, unless there's any other questions you guys have.
I'm good.
So we go there, check on your partner, and then come back. Do we need to bring anything, or just literally he'll? I mean, I just want to make sure that we don't go there and not do it right for you.
If you could bring back something, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I would hope I can take your word.
Well,
Now, obviously, if you are gone for but a week and you come back with word, no offense, I won't believe you.
we're learning to trust each other, so I would feel more confident bringing something to you to rest your mind. Yeah. So I would do that.
She always sneaks looks back at you.
With
Just-
my book still out,
That book?
I'm just I'm still looking at the symbols, and I'm still looking at the symbols on the doorway.
So you're not even looking at her, you're looking at this doorway and everything, or?
Not as of right now.
Okay. It's almost in but a blink of a moment. But she is gone from your view, and she's just next to you. Suddenly just next to you, and she just reaches up, gets on her toes, and pulls the, gets in the spine of the book and pulls down to them. Would you like to know how to read?
Yes.
I thought you were reading
Do
earlier,
this
right?
for me, and I can teach you. And your book is a good read. And she just snaps right back to where she was.
Close the book and holster it under my clip.
With time, maybe.
See, there you go. Hey, time's a funny thing like that.
Do I get the inclination that she could actually help me with this?
When you watched her, even though she looked at your book for a moment, it looked as if she was reading across the book. And we'll talk more, I can explain a little bit more about it, but I'll explain more to you out of game, but it looks like she was reading for that brief moment.
Okay, well.
So Banner will go up to her
Hi, sir.
and kneel down in front of her and hold out his hand, because they were holding hands before when they walked.
She holds it again, smiling as she was earlier.
And he says, "Little one, there are few tales more compelling than that of long-lost love. I will help seek this out for you
Thank
and bring her back to you. We all will.
Oh, thank you.
But I'll make sure they stay on the straight and narrow." He stands up. "Let us go."
Yeah, what would be the fastest, safest way you would recommend?
Oh, my apologies. And the fog behind you just parts, and there's like a clear, like what has parted is taking you back to where you guys were, and it
Nice.
will lead you back to the road. Just follow the road.
And then on the way back, we just come back the same way, the game trail? Or-
If you're here again, I will know.
Okay, we will. All right, well, it was an absolute pleasure.
The pleasure is mine, sir.
Because of the fact that I know that she could read this, O'Darren is just going to memorize her face. Just sear it into his brain.
Okay.
All right, Banner wraps his spear on the ground. "Let's go. Daylight is wasting."
All right, sounds good to me. Let's go. 7, you good?
Fair weather travels, my friends.
As they're all walking away, Renfrey is just, following them behind, but she's just kind of like walking back with them and just keeping
Like eye to eye.
like
I like it.
wizened on her and just like furrowing. But still following.
Wink. Fog around her. No one else is gonna believe you.
Never believe. Renfrey, quit eyeing the gems. They'll wait.
That's not what I care about.
Okay. Well, let's go take Beakley. Let's go back to town.
Beakley was dead silent the entire time. Not whimpering, not cowering away,
Not positive nor negative.
but it was almost more out of a reverence
Oh, okay.
than anything.
Which I think worries O'Darren a little bit. Because
I mean, if he was
studied a
whimpering.
lot.
Oh.
I mean,
But
it's
there's
like
still a lot of things that O'Darren don't know.
right. But
Obviously.
I would have read about an owlbear. And the fact that this owlbear was completely silent.
Yeah.
Beakley.
Even as a pup. Because
He
Beakley
has a
Beakley was
name.
even like nipping and like kind of being playful
If
before.
you did not
Once you
notate
came in this
before,
area, none of
notate
that.
now. His name is Beakley.
But,
K-L-Y.
all right, so we'll say for the unless there's anything else for the sake of brevity, head back to Eshin Falls.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Beakley handed, I'm sorry,
King,
Tanner's
you
handed
hold the baby.
King,
the seven.
king,
Just trying to peck him.
So
a little metronome.
eventually, you train it to be a clock if you really needed to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so by the time you guys get back to town, so you left at about 11ish.
Yeah.
We'll say that
That's what I was gonna say. Is how long time has passed from us coming and going? Because I can kind of see
the
that.
sun is starting to set.
Okay.
Okay.
2 weeks.
But it does not feel like it has been that long.
All right, so it's like we went in there and it's about. Okay, I got you.
There's not much known about the Misty Wood.
Yeah.
Just the fact that there are beasts and creatures in the unknown. Many who gallivant inside come out, and those that do come out silent
Yeah.
or changed.
Felix is gonna pull out his little scrapbook and make note of it. I have my own book. All right, so I guess we're going back to the innkeeper, right?
Right. To turn in the bounce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
Then we have
well, to show proof,
Show
we're not turning in.
That's true.
Beakley. Let's make sure this. Yeah. Let's make
All
sure
it
this is
said
on-
was proof. It didn't say in what
we're
manner
not
or in
handing
what way.
over Beakley.
Do we even know what inn it is?
Again, this is like a saloon town almost.
It's
Like it's a little bit bigger than a saloon town. So
And of course, our dungeon master would have the name of the tavern on hand, which
Yeah.
is
it's the Gilded Ferret. Yeah, you wanted a name. That's what you get. The Gilded Ferret. Yep. It's a dire Gilded Ferret. No,
the dire Gilded Ferret.
The Gilded
It's a
Ferret.
giant.
There you go.
Statue of it.
The Gilded Ferret.
There's the deep lore of this town.
It's actually a ferret, and the filigree almost looks like it's playing with a ball, but it's not.
Oh, look at that. I like it. That was whimsy right there.
That is literally.
That was planned.
I said, and then ferret came out. That's what happened.
The tea shop, which is also a great place here in town.
Oh yeah.
So I guess what we want to do, you want to go in with it and
It's just ye old tea shop.
tell the tavern owner, because I don't think we want to go in with the baby owlbear with Beakley.
Well, I think Beakley proof.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like we can have him come out, because all of us coming in, and then also with a.
He's a little guy.
I know, but I don't want it, the town. You know what I
Just tell the
mean?
barkeep that it's not bad.
Yeah, if possible.
And bring all that money out back.
Bring gold out back.
Specifically
Tavern. This guy that has probably blood on him or on her.
Respect, Felix. I feel like between me and an owlbear, people are not going to be too.
That's
worried
true.
about the owl.
Hey, you know what, Seven? You're right. I like it. All right, never mind. We'll go in. We're probably hungry anyways.
The Gilded Ferret is now
Watch the
canonical.
Oh, I took it.
It's canonical. We're building lore here, folks.
Building up. Yeah, so I guess we're all gonna go in.
Okay.
Make a big hullabaloo.
So you go into the Gilded Ferret, and who's all going in? All of you?
I guess we're all going. Unless.
I need something.
Everybody's gonna win.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
you
about
all,
to say,
you all
after a
go
long
in,
day.
and like there's who hits the tables first?
Me.
Okay, so you go up. We'll say you go to the bar, and just you get there, and the human male that's like that head just spat inside of the cup and is cleaning it. And it's just like,
love it.
what the hell happened to you?
We got that proof you needed.
What kind of proof is that? Did all of you go? What the hell is that? And he like points right at Seven because he dealt with you before, not.
It's a baby owlbear. Come on, his
know.
name is Beakley. Oh, you're talking about Seven.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I know what an owlbear is. I don't know what the hell you are.
It's okay.
That's a bit rude, don't you think?
You're nothing really to look at as well. I mean,
That's what my wife said.
Oh, hey.
That's why she left me.
Oh, Darren leans into 7.
more trauma.
Tap, tap.
Ding ding.
Why, Adelia? Why?
To yourself.
Hey.
I feel like I encroached on something.
Things were said. He's
He
learning.
pours his
He's-
own drink in this cup. He spat it. and he
Oh,
just
that's at
drinks
least
it.
fine. Yeah.
It's his own spit.
Hey, you know
Are
what?
you up to date on your tetanus?
I don't even
What?
know.
Did
Fantasy
you poke somebody? Anyway, is this big metal thing the one that did it?
No.
I did
We-
one of them.
Yeah.
Well,
You killed someone?
Well, an owlbear.
3.
You had a pack of owlbears, a whole family actually.
This bigger.
Yeah, we have slain the family, and we have the baby as recompense.
So that the owl bears did it.
Yes, which we can give you the location because it's on the wilds where all the crates, and it formed a nest out in the wilderness.
Oh hell no!
Yeah, I know.
No. 700, I think, is what it was. Okay. Give me a second here. And like he does like the fake like walking downstairs. He pops back up, like looking like really excited, like Odelia didn't like that either. And he just bends down and brings it back and just drops it on the table or on the counter. He slides you the drink. It's on the house.
Fantastic.
But I appreciate it, but it's not going to happen again.
Well, we won't have another.
What's happening with that one? Do I need to kill that one?
We're actually, well, that's what we brought it up with. We actually knew you guys had an issue with it, and I guess our friend Reno here over was having a mighty tab here. Is that correct? Was this the tavern?
Per the deal, it's paid, sir.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, there's also potentially the cost of relocating this animal.
We don't got to relocate. I'll kill it right here.
The problem is, whoa, I don't know how up to date you are on nature, but owlbears, especially young, when they die, their scent attracts others, and if they find a whole family of them deceased, oof, you're looking at a bigger problem.
Deception.
Deception.
Fucking deception.
Did you counter-roll it?
Oh my god. That happens?
That's an 18.
That's a 2.
Yes. Hey, that's why we met.
My god. All right.
If listen. You
Jimmy, how much you got? How much you got?
No. Hey.
You got-
What's your name?
Oh, my name is Phyllis.
Phyllis. Hey, this
Phyllis.
is Felix.
We got our names.
How much was his debt, by the way?
What was it, about 50 gold?
50 gold. Well, hey, why not we just call it even? Wipe the debt out and just give us room and board for the night, and then we'll take. No.
You said we were even.
That transaction has happened. I'm meaning for the relocation of this little guy. We'll wipe his debt with that, and give room and board for the night.
I don't want to be a stickler, Felix, but
This is a big deal. Just hold on a second.
Am I giving you the money or not?
Oh, okay. My
I'll
apologies.
take
My
Yeah,
apologies.
it's she, her. Don't be rude.
My apologies.
Don't be jerk.
We just, for the relocation of that little guy, we take care of his debt with that, and we just stay the night here. We'll make sure that little guy's taken care of, and we'll get him out of here. We're actually, because we're traveling down south, we're going to take him far away and make sure the scent doesn't stay here.
So I'm giving you the money?
The 700's done.
Okay.
But I'm saying this is a separate, because he still needs to pay his debt off.
Okay.
Hers. My apologies. Learning.
Rude.
Hey. But yeah, we do it that way. Okay. Or at the very least, we just take care of his debt. If you don't want us to stay here, I mean, even though we...
Well, not dressed like that. I mean,
Whoa.
you got blood all over you.
Well, I don't. Sir.
Well,
Maybe
he was pointing
Well, yeah,
at
we can
the
take care of
bloodiest
that.
of your friends.
We'll take care of that before we come in, or if it's not to your liking.
Okay, well, y'all can get naked and wash by the river, by the bay.
But if that's okay with you, then we'll just do it that way, and we'll take care of him and get him out of here tomorrow.
That's fine. Ain't nobody come through here in a while.
Does that sound fine with you, Brandon? Ma'am?
Thank you for being affirming.
There we go. I just want to hammer it home for me. If I say it a couple times, it'll knock it in the noodle.
Practice makes perfect.
There you go. Hey.
That's why I'm good at spitting.
And you know what? She should have stayed for you.
No,
It's all right. You gotta let it cry.
Just short of
All right,
having.
well, let's clean off 7.
You're better than this guy.
You know that? That's what my mom said. And I don't believe it, but coming from you, sir. You, sir.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Here's a drink on the house.
Do you drink?
I don't think I've ever really have tried.
Really? I was saying,
Would
I
you-
didn't know if by now like you.
In game, would you sound like that if you put water in it and
Like,
flick you?
it probably would
just
just
slosh around.
Okay.
Just like
And because
Blah, 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 blah.
Whenever he takes
pour it
a-
onto the floor.
yeah.
Just slowly
Whenever
leak
he
out.
whenever he takes a step, you just hear just like
Is there Is there anything y'all want to do before you bed down for the night?
Well, we will respect his wishes and clean. Like anybody that has blood or anything.
Oh, appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you very
so
much.
we'll go out. So we'll do that and then.
Yeah, they're just right upstairs. Got a couple twin size, couple kings.
Cool.
We'll get some meat to feed Beakley.
Well, yeah, so
I got
we'll
fish.
Give him a rat. Yeah, I'm sure.
I got fish, but since we we did room and board, I think was the deal. So yep, here's
It's
some
not too much
fish,
trouble. We
and
appreciate
it's fish, not scale.
I don't think Beakley would mind.
Fish, period.
He won't mind.
And it throws like a little like anchovy.
Yeah.
The owl bear just Beakley eats it.
There we go.
But all right, well.
We'll be out first light,
Okay.
and we'll get out of your hair then, and you won't have to
Jimmy,
worry
you
about
something to be. And just starts walking out.
it. See, that's how you make a profit. That's why you stay with us at those markers.
Are we really going to be relocating these people?
Well, we gotta go down south. Well, yeah, Beakley's gonna go with us. We're not gonna leave him here.
He'll be staying.
He's our buddy. He's our like how I'm your travel buddy. He's also our travel buddy. And these guys
What we
right
haven't
now
told
are
them
travel
is he'll
buddies.
be coming back with us.
Understood. I am on the same page at this time.
We're on the same level. Yep. He's our buddy. These are also buddies.
Isn't it difficult to play like unknowing?
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Everything's new to the world.
Well, and not even dumb, just new.
Yeah.
But all right,
wasn't born yesterday.
Anything else before y'all bed down?
I would say Ren is just kind of like frustratedly sitting down, slumped in a table, just furrowing, rubbing temples, and just however many copper or silver a tankard is, she's just downing a few, just like thinking like,
Oh, here we go
Yeah.
again.
I mean, at this point,
this is for a different reason now.
at this point, I mean, Phyllis is going to give you probably at least 4 or 5 drinks on the house each, if you so choose.
Cool.
Room and board. So, but at 5, it's like, ma'am, if you want more, you do got to pay. But I'm also running out because you drank most of it the other night.
Banner will send a couple of his her way. He doesn't need that much.
Still have some more inside of me.
Hey,
Keep it coming.
before you get absolutely ruined, I had some notes from today, especially if we're going to be travel compadres. How does your crossbow? Is your crossbow have any magic on it or anything like that? I was kind of checking it out while you were using it, and I don't know if there's room for improvement, politely, if you may so choose.
Well, it's an heirloom, but it doesn't have anything magical about it.
Okay,
The
well,
only thing magical in my arsenal is me, I guess.
okay, well, what we can work on that. I must say,
2 weeks ago.
when we rest, for my infusions, I'm gonna do the auto loading for his crossbow.
Okay. That will take some time, so
Yeah.
we'll say that happens on the road.
Okay.
Because it's going to take some tinkering.
Oh, I thought it was long rest. Okay.
Oh, is it per long rest or
Long
oh,
rest,
okay.
I can change my infusions.
that's not
and I'm gonna keep mine auto load. No, I think that's
Let's
it.
say that we're going to sleep. We'll talk.
Cool.
Um,
So you need that.
but we're going to call it there. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for joining session 1. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on this adventure today with us. But for now, we have to take a bow as the lights come back up and we make our curtain call. We can't thank you enough for your support, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, it's 5 to Places.